AM1310WDPN
Good call, meatball!
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
Young but a bruiser. Bruiser for and Duke is back on top. Gets it back to him. Again, it's Chinyalu defending. Help from Klajon. Evans for three.
6 to go here from Allen Fieldhouse. Ball launches and hits. Biggest lead of the night for UConn. It's 55-49.
He can shoot. He can shoot. You know what I tell you? He's an elite shooter. He's an elite shooter. I mean, Carolina's trying to break. Did they lose the last 3 times against Kentucky?
Dixon on the drive. Lays it up and in. Fox dancing and hitting over Jared Jackson Jr.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show. How we doing, Alliance? How we doing, Canton? How we doing, Northeast Ohio? How we doing, world? Welcome in, AM1310 WDPN. Of course, we are live. You can watch us and listen to us on the live stream on the AM1310 WDPN Facebook page, Twitter, X, Instagram. You can watch on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. It's all there. It's all for you. And we are ready to go on this 28-degree Wednesday afternoon here in the Carnation City. Sam Bourquin here, Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass.
If you look at the temperature tomorrow, though, 28's pretty good.
Yeah. What did I see Friday night like 12?
I think tomorrow night I saw 8. Either tomorrow night or Friday night.
Ooh, that's cold.
Yeah, because I remember thinking, man, my doors are going to be frozen shut. My windows are going to be frozen shut.
Oh, that is cold.
That is unfortunate.
You start talking single digits. I don't even care if there's no wind. That's cold.
Exactly.
And if you throw in a little, then it's like, okay, I'm not coming out of the house today. That's cold, man. That is always cold. Well, we'll get ready. We'll get ready. All right, lots of stuff to get into today. My goodness, are we loaded up today? Big story today. Brian Hartline is going to take the head football coaching position at the University of South Florida. Coach Brian is the offensive coordinator right now for the Ohio State Buckeyes. He is one of the master recruiters on Ryan Day's staff, but he has decided that it's time. It's time to fly the coop and take a program under his wing. So he will be leaving to take the head football coaching job at South Florida, which is a really nice first gig as a head coach for Brian Hartline. That's a good place to start. Good place to start. Florida, the fertile grounds of recruiting, a great stadium to play in right now. They play where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play. They're going to get their own on-campus stadium. I think it's going to be ready for the 27-28 campaign. They're doing lots of great things in Tampa. So congratulations to former Gleno Golden Eagle and Buckeye Brian Hartline. He'll be the new head football coach at South Florida. Now, good news is it's been worked out. Brian is going to stay on with Ohio State through their playoff run. So obviously the Big Ten championship game coming up against Indiana on Saturday, and then wherever that journey takes them throughout the postseason, Coach Hartline will remain on staff with Coach Day and do what he does. All right, so that's good. He'll finish up with Ohio State, and then he'll go full go with South Florida once the Buckeye football season comes to an end. Now, I reached out to a couple of people that are really close with Coach Brian. I I would not count on it, but we've reached out. At least we did our diligence. We reached out to see if we could maybe get Coach on the program. But I doubt it. They're busy. He's busy. They're getting ready for Indiana. So, but we reached out, and if we hear back, great. If not, that's okay. We completely understand. Also today, coaching move in the high school ranks. And this comes from Sandy Valley. Head football coach Brian Gamble has announced he is stepping down as the head football coach at Sandy Valley. Coach Gamble actually put a little post out on social media earlier this afternoon. So congratulations to Coach on his decision. He thought now was the time to step down from Sandy Valley. Young, vibrant, very smart, very good coach. He'll be back in the saddle somewhere at some point, but right now he said he just wants to kind of concentrate on family, and so he is stepping down as the head football coach at Sandy Valley. We wish Coach all the best of luck. We'll reach out to him and see if we can maybe get him to come on later on this week. All right. Buckeyes in Indiana getting ready to go on Saturday. The college football playoff rankings were released last night, and a couple of moves were made. Okay, a couple of moves were made as far as the top 10, top 12 were concerned, and I want to read these to you as soon as I can pull these papers apart from one another. I took these papers out of the printer a couple hours ago. I think they finally thawed out. And then I brought them in here, and it's 107. So the papers kind of do what they want to do, right? All right, the Buckeyes are still ranked number 1. This is the college football playoff rankings. Number 2, Indiana. Number 3, Georgia. Number 4, Texas Tech. So those teams, as of right now, will get the bye. 5 through 12, Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Alabama, Notre Dame, BYU, and Miami. Alabama jumped Notre Dame. Don't know how. Oh, wait a minute. Alabama's in the SEC, aren't they? Got it. All right, so here's what the matchups would be right now if the college football playoff season started today. Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, first-round byes, they're off. First-round playoff games on campus sites. You would have Miami of Florida at Oregon. You would have BYU at Ole Miss. You would have Notre Dame at Texas A&M. And then you would have Alabama at Oklahoma. Ooh, Texas is on the outside looking in at number 13. Vanderbilt 14, Utah 15. But that's where we sit today. And out of those first-round matchups, Miami at Oregon, pretty good matchup. I think that would be a very good game. A lot of people are poo-pooing on the Hurricanes. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I'm not saying they're going to go win the title, but I don't think that's a team that you want to run up against in a first-round game. Now, obviously, if you've got them at home, makes a big difference. Number 11, BYU, as would be at number 6, Ole Miss. Here comes Ole Miss now. No Lane Kiffin. He took half his staff with him. Ole Miss would be home. I want to believe in BYU, but I can't believe in BYU. They're 11-1. They've played a lot of close games. The one game that was not close was their loss to Texas Tech about 3 weeks or so ago, maybe a month ago. I want to believe in BYU. I love their coach, Kalani Sitake, which they locked him up today or yesterday. Long-term coaching contract extension. He'll stay at BYU for a while. But I just can't. I can't with BYU. I want to, but I can't. Number 10, Notre Dame would be at number 7, Texas A&M. That would be fantastic. And then number 9, Alabama would be at number 8, Oklahoma. I think that would be a fantastic game as well. So some pretty sexy matchups there as far as the college football playoffs are concerned. So we'll get into that. Cavaliers taking on the Trailblazers tonight up in Cleveland. Tip a little bit after 7. We'll check the injury report for you closer to tip-off. We'll let you know how many players Coach Kenny Atkinson will have tonight on the bench up in Cleveland. It is, of course, it's college football early National Signing Day today. We'll tell you who's going where locally. Not a lot of action today locally. As it is early signing day, but there's a couple of names out there, a couple of young men from the area that have decided they've made their decision where they're going to go, and we'll tell you all about that. One of those is the big tight end of the West Branch Warriors, the G-Wagon, Gavin Gregory. He has announced that he is committed to Toledo. We'll have Gavin Gregory on the program this afternoon. We'll give you a time on that as soon as we set it. But congratulations to Gavin, and I wish him nothing but the best at Toledo. A lot of fun watching him do his thing at West Branch, and I know he's going to have a tremendous collegiate career. A lot of you didn't get to see Gavin Gregory play. 6'7", 240 pounds, tight end. He can do it all. So we'll tell you what time Gavin will be joining us here on the show. Coming up here in about, 15, 20 minutes. We'll let you know when that is going to happen. Let's see here. What else is going on? Oh, Deshaun Watson was back at practice today. Yeah, that guy for the Cleveland Browns. Remember him? Remember Deshaun Watson? You know, the 240 guaranteed $1 million man, the masseuse man. Remember that? Remember that's the guy we gave up all those draft picks to the Houston Texans, and then he goes in trouble. And then he continued to stay in trouble and then got suspended. Then came back and tore his Achilles. And then somehow, under the cover of night, tore his other Achilles tendon and took some vacations and Instagrammed some stuff on a boat, hanging out. And now he's back at practice again. Wow. Okay. So there you go. The quarterback room now is Shedeur, Dylan Gabriel, Bailey Zappi, and Deshaun Watson. That movie kind of writes itself, doesn't it? Browns getting ready to take on the 1-win Titans this Sunday. That game will be up in Cleveland, 1 o'clock, as the Browns will, I guess, try to pick up their 4th win of the season. I don't think that would be a great idea, but that's probably a game the Browns will go out and win. They'll probably win like 20. They'll probably win like 24-10. Miles will have 8 sacks when it doesn't matter, and everybody will be screaming Super Bowl and woofing up and down West 6th Street in Cleveland on Sunday night, that kind of thing. So, yeah. But we'll talk about Deshaun returning and what that means, what that's going to look like, what Shedeur has to think about that. We'll hear from head coach Kevin Stefanski coming up as well. We'll check in with head coach Ryan Day on his thoughts on Brian Hartline taking the job at the University of South Florida. We'll also check in with Coach Day and get his assessment, final look back at Michigan and what's in store for the Buckeyes this Saturday as they take on Indiana in the Big Ten championship game on Saturday night. Don't forget, that's 8:15 Saturday night, and that will be televised on Fox. We opened up our high school basketball coverage last night. We hope you enjoyed it right here on 1310 WDPN and down the hall at Q92. Christian was able to bring you the Louisville win over West Branch last night, 44-37. And myself and Lee Foster, we were able to bring you Kent McKinley's 68-59 win over St. Vincent St. Mary on Q92. Pretty good way to start the season last night. Louisville defending their state championship in Division III. Just about everybody graduated. Coach Wertz taking over for the basketball program, and they picked up their first win of the year. McKinley, I thought at times looked a little ragged last night, and at times I thought they could win a state championship. They got the ingredients, man. And if they put it, look, that was the first game. I'm telling you, I think this team December. I think by the middle of January, end of January, they're going to be cooking. I really, really think so. I think they're that good. I think they're hands down the best team in the Federal League. I think they might be hands down the best team in the county. I think they're that good. I think they can be that good. But we'll talk a little hoops this afternoon. Again, appreciate everybody listening last night, 1310 WDPN. And, of course, courtside with Sam B and Lee on Q92. We had a great time bringing you those ball games last night, and we will both be back at it coming up here on Friday. On the AM, Christian will have the call on Salem at Alliance at 7 here on 1310 WDPN. We will be over on Q92 on Friday night, myself and Lee, as we bring you Perry and Louisville Friday night around 7 on Q92 and Q92radiosports.com and all, of course, of our social media platforms. So high school hoops got off to a good start last night, and we're looking forward to bringing you some great games coming up here the rest of the way. What else am I leaving out here in the open? Oh, yeah. Sam, well, I don't know. Maybe we should just stop this feature. Sammy's best bet will be coming up at 4:29 today. We took it on the chin last night with UConn at Kansas, but we think we got something good for you today. Sammy's best bet, 4:29 on the Sam Bourquin Show today, 1310 WDPN. Also, we will have our On This Day in Sports History and our poll question of the day. We will get into all that and more coming up after the break. Keep it right here. Hang out with us on this chilly Wednesday afternoon. What do you say? 1310 WDPN.
Of all the ways to get ahead in life, we're one of them. And we're legal. The John Tesh Radio Show.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room.
You're just trying to be better. We're just trying to help. The John Tesh Radio Show.
Join me for music and intelligence for your life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
It's intelligence for your life.
You've always enjoyed an active lifestyle, hiking with family, resort vacations, the occasional trip to the spa, and nights out with friends at your favorite restaurants. You want and need your lifestyle to follow you into your retirement years. Now, imagine a place with peaceful surroundings, resort amenities, and easy access to city life. It's just around the corner at Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks has earned a reputation as more than a retirement destination, but also a place to call home. An independent consultant for senior living rated Copeland Oaks with a perfect score, and it's easy to see why. Maintain your lifestyle on the beautiful Copeland Oaks campus with all the amenities you love, and if you need it down the road, assistance is there. Keep living your life to its fullest at Copeland Oaks, your all-inclusive senior living resort. Visit CopelandOaks.com for more information. That's CopelandOaks.com.
How's Tommy doing now?
Much better.
You said it was asthma?
Yeah, he started with this cough and then he was wheezing.
That's terrifying.
Doctor said hidden triggers can make it worse. Things like dust, mold, and even pests.
Pests?
Yeah, droppings and allergens from cockroaches and rodents can seriously impact children with asthma or allergies.
I had no idea.
We're making sure our home stays pest-free.
Don't let pests put your family's health at risk. Visit pestworld.org to learn more. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
I used to rule the world. Seas would rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sleep.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Our resident Browns fan, J-Dub from down the hall, popped in, was going to talk about Deshaun. I said, can you get that thought out in 7 seconds? He says, no. I said, okay, we'll see you later. He'll be back. Text line is open, 330-924-7088, 330-924-7088. Sam, when are the phones going to start again, working again? John in North Canton. John, I don't know. Sam put up the big tree last week in the family room. Today, we put up the 4-foot Christmas tree that goes on the table in the living room. We have you on while putting the Christmas ornaments on the tree. Appreciate that. I bet that tree's looking nice. Our tree's not up yet. We've got a little bit of work to do outside with some Christmas inflatables. And I think we got to put the tree up inside. And I think everything else is done. All the other rooms in the house have their decorations, the candles, the lights, the, what do you call those big nutcrackers? We got those up all over the house. Got one that lights up and plays music as you come in through the kitchen. So that's pretty cool. We like that. Cats love that. The cats want to terrorize it, but they can't get up that high. So it's kind of funny to watch that. Oh my gosh. We're going to be with you until 6:00 this afternoon. Appreciate you hanging out here on 1310 WDPN and all of our live streams. Make sure you like, follow, and share and comment. And don't forget, while you're on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button too. We certainly would appreciate that. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to play our interview with West Branch tight end and now Toledo commit, Gavin Gregory. We're going to play that for you. We're going to play that for you around 3:45 this afternoon, and then we may run it again for you somewhere between 5:30 and 6. All right, so stick around if you want to listen to Gavin Gregory from the West Branch Warriors. I know a lot of friends and family and teammates and classmates out there are excited to see this and watch this and listen to it. We're gonna do that about 3:45, and then we may run it again for you between 5:35 and 6:00 here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Brian Hartline. First of all, congratulations to Brian. I know Brian. Got to know him when he was playing at Glen Oak and, of course, at Ohio State. I've been able to interview him a couple of times, and very excited for him to have his own program now, as he's going to take the job at South Florida. Again, I want to reiterate, he is going to stay with Ohio State through the Buckeyes playoff run. And I'm glad to see that. In the midst of all the chaos that's going on now in college football, you know, the secret meetings behind the curtain, the undercover of night confrontations, coaches coming, coaches leaving, signing, re-signing, holding out for more money, leaving programs and players high and dry. I'm glad to see that Coach Hartline's going to stay with the Buckeyes through the playoff run, and then he'll commit full 100% to the University of South Florida Bulls football program when he takes over. So that's first and foremost, congratulations, and I'm glad this thing is kind of working out the way that it is. Matter of fact, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I looked across the window and Rainsburg's telling me to wrap it up. I was going to go for the next 15 minutes. We got the news and weather coming up. We'll come back. We'll talk about Brian Hartline leaving the Buckeyes. We'll check in with Coach Day on that and more here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Boy, you just got to keep me in line. 1310 WDPN.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. The Pentagon's watchdog has determined that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth put U.S. personnel and their mission at risk when he used the Signal messaging app to convey sensitive information about a military strike against Houthi militants in Yemen. That's according to two people familiar with the findings. One of the people says Hegseth, however, has the ability to declassify material, and the report did not find he did so improperly. Hegseth denied posting classified information regarding plans for a military strike against militants in March. A review by the Pentagon Inspector General's office was delivered to lawmakers who were able to review the report in a classified facility at the Capitol. A 5-hour marathon meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin, President Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff, and the president's son-in-law Jared Kushner is being called useful by the Kremlin today. But as ABC News chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell and Ukraine
crucially, there was no compromise deal on Ukraine. And few here are surprised at that outcome, believing Putin doesn't really want to end the war until he's achieved his goals. The question now is, how will President Trump respond? Witkoff and Kushner leaving Moscow early today, and they're going to brief President Trump. And for beleaguered Ukrainians, it means more bombing, more fighting, more war, and more death. Ian Pannell, ABC News in Ukraine.
The Department of Homeland Security is launching a new immigration crackdown in New Orleans. A Homeland Security official says the operation that got underway today targets violent criminals. The crackdown is the latest expansion of the Trump administration's immigration sweeps that have unfolded in other U.S. cities. Immigration officials have blanketed big cities and small towns across the nation since January while carrying out Trump's mass deportation efforts. In New Orleans, immigration lawyers say they've been inundated with calls, and some businesses have posted signs barring federal agents from entry. Louisiana's governor welcomes the crackdown. Authorities in New Zealand believe they captured a jewelry thief but are waiting on a key piece of evidence. ABC's Brian Clark explains.
Authorities in New Zealand say a 32-year-old man walked into an Auckland jewelry store, and soon after, a rare Fabergé egg pendant set with 60 white diamonds disappeared. The store called police. The man was arrested. Authorities believe he swallowed the egg, valued at $19,000. The man's due in court next week. The egg has not been recovered. Police say they're waiting for nature to take its course.
It's 30 degrees in Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
For your Wednesday afternoon, look for a high near 32 degrees, cloudy skies for the most part, staying dry. Overnight, some scattered light snow up to a half an inch by dawn, our low 22. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Now everybody, have you heard? If you're in the game, then the stroke's the word.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Also want to shout out Preston Daisy of the Perry Panthers. He has made his decision officially official. And Preston is on the move to join Gavin Gregory up at the University of Toledo. So the Rockets are getting a couple of good ones there. Preston Daisy, big, strong offensive lineman, and Gavin Gregory from West Branch, an outstanding tight end. So congratulations to Preston Daisy on his announcement to go play at the University of Toledo. Maybe we can get the big man on. Maybe we'll try to set that up. What's tomorrow? Thursday. Maybe we could set that up Thursday. I'll reach out to Mr. Yoder, Kevin, over at the Perry, and see if we can set that up. It's cool. It's cool time for these kids. Signing time. I know it's different than it used to be. A lot different, but it's still fun. It's cool. It's a great time for them and their family and their teammates and coaches. You're making a big decision on your future as you head off to college, and it's a really big deal, and it's kind of cool to see these kids make those decisions and go and kind of fulfill their dream of going to play football at the next level. And Toledo's a darn good football program. I know sometimes we make fun of the MAC and MAC shit on Tuesday nights in empty stadiums and stuff like that, but Toledo's legit, man. That's a real good football school, and congratulations to Gavin and Preston for making their decisions to go play for the Rockets up in Toledo. Text line open 330-924-7088, 330-924-7088. Okay, before we went to the break, we were talking about Brian Hartline, who's going to be the new head football coach at the University of South Florida. The former Buckeye offensive coordinator and recruiting guru is going to stay on with the Buckeyes throughout their playoff run. So that's good. Who is going to be the next OC for Ohio State? You know, we've had pretty good runs with that, pretty good luck with that. But we've had a lot of one and dones, right? Or a one in a couple of years and then leaving. You remember what happened with Chip Kelly? He was there for a year, gone. Brian Hartline, couple of years as the OC. Obviously, it was an outstanding wide receivers coach. Couple of years, OC, and now he's going to go to South Florida. So who's going to be the next offensive coordinator for Ohio State? Is there somebody in line on the staff? Is there somebody else from another school you would like to see? Because we have seen that's very important. Coordinators at the college level, and I guess the pros too, but in college, I think college it's even more important because not only are you a coordinator, you're a recruiter. You're trying to bring guys into the program. You're trying to get those 5-star kids, those 4-star kids. And you got a lot of responsibilities. And gosh, these big Division I college football programs, how many kids are you addressing at a home game? 200? You know what I mean? There's just so much on your plate. And it's very important. The coordinating positions. I mean, look what Matt Patricia has done on the defensive side of the football for Ohio State. And I know he went to Penn State, but, Jim Knowles did a pretty good job with Ohio State on the defensive end. Who's going to be the new OC? Ryan Day's got to think through that. Got to come up with a plan and get somebody in place and get them ready to go for next year. Anybody have any thoughts? Anybody have a name? Tom from Salem says Sam Chip Kelly will be coming back. I know Chip got whacked by the Raiders a couple of days ago. Some think that he may come back to Ohio State. I don't know. I guess I'd be okay with that. But who do you think the next OC will be for the Buckeyes? Because Brian Hartline is going to be packing up here soon and leaving for South Florida. Let me play a little cut here from the head football coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Ryan Day. He talked about at his press conference his thoughts on Brian Hartline taking that job with South Florida, the timing, what it means, and that he's very happy that it worked out for both parties, that he'll be able to stick around through the playoffs before he heads down to Florida.
Addressed because it's but it's like that for everybody in the country. So instead of being upset about it, we're going to embrace it and I'll let the team know today. They obviously will read it today, but it's good to hear from me. But yeah, the plan is for him to continue to be with the team, which is a challenge for him, but that speaks to his character, that he wants to make sure he finishes this thing out the right way. Which certainly right now, I'm not going to be long in here because we got to focus on Indiana, making sure we're ready situationally, have a great practice, and go play this game on Saturday. And then, over that next month, we'll figure out what that cadence looks like. But he wants to be with us all the way through, all the way to the end, and see this thing out during the season. So it'll be a busy month for him, but it's been done before, and we'll help him along the way.
There's Ryan Day, head football coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes. I think it's worked out well for everybody. Again, congratulations to Coach Hartline, and glad to see he's going to stick around and see the Buckeyes run, hopefully all the way for another national championship. Chip Kelly. It's the first name I thought of because we all know that Chip got fired by the Raiders a couple of days ago. I suppose he would want to come back. I mean, I think when he left, I think everything was okay. I think everybody left on good terms there. Obviously, Chip Kelly can draw up a heck of an offensive game plan, especially when if he would have talent to work with again, like he does at Ohio State. I think maybe Chip Kelly now knows that maybe college is where he is supposed to be. Whether as a head coach or a coordinator of a big-time school, guys kind of want to dip their toe in the NFL water. They want to see what it's like, if they can handle it, what the expectations are, what the work hours are. And I think some guys, they take that leap and they go experience what everything is about. And then I think they find out that, maybe this is not for me at this level. Maybe I need to go back to the college ranks and just do what I do. I kind of think that's what it's like for Chip Kelly. So would I be surprised if he came back to Ohio State? Not at all. Would I be okay with it? Yeah, I think I would be. Unless some other big names start to pop up, but I think I would be okay if Chip came back to Ohio State. But you know what? It's Ohio State. And these kind of things happen at programs all the time. Assistant coaches come and go. Head coaches come and go. Players commit and decommit. Some players get in trouble. Some coaches get in trouble. Sometimes the schedule is to your favor. Sometimes it's not. But through it all, Ohio State is going to be there. They're going to be the big bad bully on the block. And they're going to take care of their business. So whatever gets in the way, whatever comes their way, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. I don't think this is in any way going to take away from their preparation for Indiana on Saturday night. I don't think it'll take away in any way their preparations to make a run at another national championship. It's Ohio State. They're used to this kind of thing. They know it comes with the territory. The players and coaches know. They know what ingredients are in the recipe. They know. And they get up every day and they do their thing. And there's enough great things already put in place that these kind of things they could create a little ripple effect. But most of the time, the ripple never gets any bigger than that. Never turns into a current or a big wave or it never reaches that because they don't allow that to infiltrate. They've got, they got the fence up. They got the fence up around the yard. They got the big spotlight. They got the watchtower. They know. They know how it goes. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. All right, it's National Early College Signing Day for the high school kids all over the country, making their decisions where to go, their next stop, the college world. And earlier today, we had a chance to catch up with the outstanding high school football player, tight end for the West Branch Warriors, Gavin Gregory. Gavin announced he is going to commit to and stay with, and he is going to attend Toledo and continue his college football career. We were lucky enough to catch up with Gavin earlier this afternoon, and let's play that interview back for you right now. You can listen to it. You can watch it on 1310 WDPN, all of our social media platforms, Facebook, X, Twitter, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. So let's settle in now as we check in with Gavin Gregory of the West Branch Warriors as he makes his big decision to go to the University of Toledo here on AM 1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN, streaming live on all of our social media platforms on X, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Right now, we have a chance to talk with one of the premier tight ends in the state of Ohio, maybe in the country, and he's right down the street. It's Gavin Gregory of the West Branch Warriors. Gavin has made his decision to continue his academic and athletic career. We'll get to that here in a second. We'll let him do that. And Gavin, welcome to the show. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I appreciate you coming on today. I know it's been busy. It's been fun. It's been stressful. All those things wrapped up into one. But we understand that you have made your decision. So kind of let everybody know where you're going to take your talents next year for college football and get rolling on that gridiron and back in the classroom.
Yeah. First of all, I'd just like to thank God and especially my parents. I wouldn't be able to make this decision without them. And I was just going to make the decision to the Toledo Rockets. It's a great program and a lot of great coaches up there.
Outstanding. Congratulations, Gavin. You've made your decision to go to play for the Rockets at Toledo. You'll be handling business up at the Glass Bowl, and I know you're going to have a fantastic collegiate career. Okay, so what was this whole process like for you as a young man going through high school, your teen years? Lots of stuff on the table, lots of things in motion. Take us through the process if you could.
Yeah, so starting out, it was my freshman year going into my sophomore year is when I went to my first camp because I had worked out with Drew DeShields, who went to Kent State. So I was kind of close to him. And he said just to try and go to as many camps as possible. So my freshman year, I went to the Kent State camp and I met Boston there. Me and Boston went to the same camp. And that was it was my first camp I ever went to, and sadly, it was my last camp I ever went to, which kind of sucked. But then, next year after that, I had a workout with Iowa State just in the spring to get rolling, and some bigger schools out to come and see me.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM1310 WDPN, streaming live on all of our social media platforms on X, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Right now, we have a chance to talk with one of the premier tight ends in the state of Ohio, maybe in the country. And he's right down the street. It's Gavin Gregory of the West Branch Warriors. Gavin has made his decision to continue his academic and athletic career. We'll get to that here in a second. We'll let him do that. And Gavin, welcome to the show. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I appreciate you coming on today. I know it's been busy. It's been fun. It's been stressful. All those things wrapped up into one. But we understand that you have made your decision. So kind of let everybody know where you're going to take your talents next year for college football and get rolling on that gridiron and back in the classroom.
Yeah. First of all, I'd just like to thank God and especially my parents. I wouldn't be able to make this decision without them. And I was just going to make the decision to the Toledo Rockets. It's a great program and a lot of great coaches up there.
Outstanding. Congratulations, Gavin. You've made your decision to go to play for the Rockets at Toledo. You'll be handling business up at the Glass Bowl, and I know you're going to have a fantastic collegiate career. Okay, so what was this whole process like for you as a young man going through high school, your teen years? Lots of stuff on the table, lots of things in motion. Take us through the process if you could.
Yeah, so starting out, it was my freshman year going into my sophomore year is when I went to my first camp because I had worked out with Drew DeShields, who went to Kent State. So I was kind of close to him. And he said just to try and go to as many camps as possible. So my freshman year, I went to the Kent State camp and I met Boston there. Me and Boston went to the same camp. And that was it was my first camp I ever went to, and sadly, it was my last camp I ever went to, which kind of sucked. But then, next year after that, I had a workout with Iowa State just in the spring to get rolling, and some bigger schools out to come and see me. You know, we have the connection up there with John Haycock, the defensive coordinator, and he came out to see what I'm about. And I dislocated and broke my pinky finger working out with him. And it just kind of ruined that summer for me. Yeah. So I just was focusing on recovery that summer and getting back to the gridiron, putting in the work, work on my craft, all that. And I knew for my size, speed and agility was like a big thing. And so I just worked on my speed, my quickness, and like my routes, especially. Like I like really harped on that. And then my junior year, I worked on some run blocking to like try and get into that. So I had both of that. And then they offered me during my junior year basketball season. And that was when I first talked to Coach Sage. He came to my school and had a really nice conversation with him. Like, first time meeting him was really nice.
Sure.
I knew he was legit. He actually got in his stance. We both did. He just to like see my stance in a 3-point stance, 2-point stance. It was really fun actually, and committed that summer, and it was really fun.
That is awesome. I know you committed, what was it, June 2nd, I think you committed, and then I know Carolina came in with an offer at the end of October. I know you were on the radar of a lot of schools because your talent was just jumping off the field. Athletically, the cerebral way that you played the game, the way you interact with your teammates and coaches. I know a lot of folks were on you, but you made that decision to go to Toledo, and that will be an outstanding place for you to go, I know. I was able to, and very grateful to be able to call about 3 or 4 of your games this year. It was the first time I'd ever seen you play live, and really loved the way that you played the game. How did you, I know nothing comes easy, but you look like you've had the tools. You talk about the height at 6'7", 240 pounds, the way that you study and things like that. How did football come to you as you were growing up and going through the ranks of grade school, junior high, high school, and then throughout?
Yeah, it mostly just came with my older brother. I actually started early, kindergarten through senior year. I played football, and I always looked up to my older brother, see how he played, how he competed, and he was the first one his senior year was the first league win, and we haven't lost since. So.
Yeah, you guys have been doing pretty well. It's some great seasons. Okay, I got to ask you, the first time that I called one of your games, it was over at West Branch. I think it was against Alliance, and you caught a ball, and the PA announcer called you the G-Wagon. I thought, oh, wow, okay. So where did that come from?
That came from basketball. It was my junior year. Yeah, it was my junior year. My friend's uncle announces our basketball games.
Okay.
And it just caught on. Like throughout all basketball season, he called me that. And it refers to like the car, how it's like a fancy, valuable car. They see me as like a valuable player, and they just keep calling me the G-Wagon. I
thought it was cool, man. I just started calling you that during the broadcast. That G-Wagon, it was great. I loved it. It was so much fun to do those games and watch you just hone your craft on the field. So how excited are you high school is a great time of your life. 4 years, friends, studying, football, coaches, relationships. It's such a great time. How excited are you to take that next step in your life at the collegiate level and see what you got?
I'm really excited, actually. And it comes with a little bit of nerves and a little bit of anxiety because I'm always looking to get better. I'm always looking to compete, and I just want to be the best player out there. So I'm always looking for the next step ahead.
Gavin Gregory is our guest. The outstanding tight end of the football squad at West Branch made his decision to continue his college football career with the Toledo Rockets. We congratulate Gavin on his decision. It's going to be an outstanding time for him up in Toledo. I wish we had some more time, but we have to run. One more quick one for you, Gavin. What's your favorite memory as you kind of leave the West Branch football program and everything behind?
My favorite memory is always going to be the Ashland camps. I always have a great time hanging out with the boys on the team for 3 days, just putting in the work, hanging out in the dorms, going on walks, all that.
Good stuff. Well, Gavin, we appreciate you taking time to come on with us today. Again, congratulations on your decision. I know a lot of folks, family, friends, everybody's very proud of you. We'll be watching and rooting you on. And thanks again for coming on, and best of luck to you, and have a great upcoming holiday season, okay?
Thank you. Have a great day.
You bet. There he goes. Gavin Gregory, West Branch tight end. Now he's going to be a Toledo Rockets. More to come here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 13. No.
I don't know why I wanted to start over again, Sam. Sorry about that. You're good.
Yeah, I mean, might as well play it 3 times.
We'll just let it run. We'll just leave. We'll put that on loop, and we'll just go home.
No, boy, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
Yeah, right.
So that was our conversation with Gavin Gregory. We will probably run that again for you between 5:30 and 6 o'clock tonight here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Gavin, I'm going to go to Toledo. Congratulations to the young man, and we appreciate him coming on the show today.
We had a comment related to that from Dave on Facebook. He says, I don't know if you were watching it, but I also saw that the Zarko kid got signed with Michigan State from North Canton Hoover football.
Yep, congratulations. The Zarko name runs deep in the North Canton as far as North Canton football and Hoover athletics, so congratulations there as well. Hey, while we were playing our interview with Gavin Gregory, we've had another Stark County high school football coaching change. All right. Earlier today, we told you Brian Gamble was stepping down as the head football coach at Sandy Valley. Now it's St. Thomas Aquinas' turn to look for a new football coach, as Kevin Henderson has stepped down as the head football coach of the Knights of St. Thomas. So, boy, this stuff just keeps coming as quickly as we can spread the news here on 1310 WDPN. So we've got a lot to get to today. National Signing Day, coaching changes in Stark County. The Buckeyes are looking for a new offensive coordinator. What else? Deshaun Watson back at Browns practice today. I mean, it has been a day. And we'll keep on dancing when we get back. The news is next. Jeff Mears is in the house. 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. An Inspector General report has concluded Secretary Pete Hegseth risked exposing classified information that could have endangered U.S. troops when he discussed a planned military strike in Yemen over the messaging app Signal. That according to 2 sources on the findings of the report. The White House says President Trump stands by Hegseth. A Democratic representative from Texas getting a presidential pardon. Here's ABC's Karen Travers.
President Trump said in a social media post he's granting a pardon to Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar and his wife Imelda. The president alleged without evidence that the Biden administration, quote, went after Cuellar because the lawmaker was critical of Biden's immigration policies. Cuellar is a moderate who's often broken with his party on votes in the House. Prosecutors allege that Cuellar and his wife accepted roughly $600,000 from an oil and gas company owned by Azerbaijan's government, as well as a bank headquartered in Mexico City.
The Powerball jackpot up to $775 million. The next drawing tonight. This is ABC News.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes! Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics State of 5G Report, United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Now, The latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, it's 4:02. This news a service of Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency. A Stark County jail inmate facing murder charges has died by suicide. 34-year-old Daniel Matei was charged in the death of his roommate, Ryan Godby of Canton, and was scheduled to attend a plea hearing December 10th. Around 9:20 this morning, jail staff and medical personnel responded, performing CPR before Matei was transported to Mercy Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The incident is under investigation, with the Sheriff's Office working with the Ohio Bureau of Adult Detention and the Coroner's Office. The city of Canton is the subject of a federal lawsuit filed by the mother of a man killed by a police officer. Cassandra White filed the suit in U.S. District Court in Cleveland Monday. A Stark County grand jury in October 2024 declined to indict Officer Garrett Marino for the December 2023 shooting of 24-year-old Zachary Fornash. A department report said Marino acted within department guidelines. The suit, which names Marino, Sergeant Michael Rastetter, and Chief John Gabbert, alleges the officer used excessive force in this and previous cases without being disciplined. It also claims the department has a history of violent and unconstitutional action. An early morning crash has taken the life of an East Canton man. The Highway Patrol says 29-year-old Hayden Miller was westbound on I-70 in Guernsey County around 3:15 today when his pickup left the road, hit a bridge railing, and overturned, striking an embankment. Miller was pronounced dead at the scene. The crash remains under investigation. A former aid worker from Holmes County faces federal charges for alleged child sexual abuse in Haiti. 44-year-old Jariah Mast is accused of abusing minors on at least 4 occasions between 2004 and 2011. Mast worked for Christian Aid Ministries in Haiti until May 2019, when he turned himself in to face charges of abusing 5 juveniles between 1999 and 2008. He was sentenced to 9 years in prison and released in October. Mast is charged with attempted and engaging in illicit sexual conduct in a foreign place. He allegedly traveled to Haiti more than 30 times between 2002 and 2019. A business owner helped catch a man suspected in multiple green break-ins Monday. The Summit County Sheriff's Office says the owner spotted the suspect running from his building wearing his hat and sunglasses, and deputies arrested him near Greensburg Road. 43-year-old Derek Duck of Florida is charged with theft, breaking and entering, theft of a firearm, having weapons under disability, and criminal damaging. He is held in the county jail. Investigators linked Duck to an earlier break-in at the MAPS Air Museum, where a broken door led to the theft of an electric bike and rifle, both later recovered. Smith Township is looking for a new fiscal officer. Applications are due by Friday to replace Audrey Fox, whose term ends in March. Tuesday, the board approved a new 3-year police dispatch contract with Sebring costing $20,000 a year, plus a one-time $47,000 software upgrade. Trustees signed off on the 2026 budget and laid out next summer's road work. Trustees also noted plans to expand Heiss Fabripart on Oyster Road. A Knox Township man is scheduled to stand trial next year on 85 felony counts involving child pornography. 38-year-old Joseph Sabella, a former chaplain at Alliance Community Hospital, is charged with pandering obscenity involving minors. Investigators say searches of his home turned up hundreds of printed and electronic images of minors in sexual acts or nudity, including an image allegedly uploaded online. His trial in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court is set for February 17th, with a final status hearing February 9th. Sabella remains free on a $50,000 bond. A man in prison for a crash in Columbiana County that seriously injured a woman has filed an appeal. 65-year-old Christopher Melee of Columbiana previously pleaded no contest to aggravated vehicular assault and OVI. The charges stemmed from an August 2023 crash on State Route 14 near County Line Road. Melee's SUV went left of center and struck an oncoming vehicle, seriously injuring a 24-year-old. Columbiana County Common Pleas Judge Megan Bickerton sentenced Melee to 30 months in prison. A man injured in last month's explosion at Austintown Senior Living Apartments has died. 63-year-old Stephen Smith died Tuesday at a hospital in Cleveland. The November 22nd blast on the 4th floor injured 13 people and forced 141 residents to evacuate. Authorities say it was likely caused by natural gas, but the source and ignition are still under investigation. The complex primarily housed seniors, persons with disabilities, and low-income residents. Tenants are currently living in hotels and assisted living facilities. Donations are being collected by a coalition of nonprofits. A teen was rescued from the Mahoning River early this morning in Youngstown. Firefighters responded to the water's edge under the 5th Avenue Bridge around midnight after a passerby heard her screaming. Police say 2 people were holding the 13-year-old on the riverbank. WKBN-TV reports the girl told officers she slipped into the river while trying to catch her hat. She was taken to St. Elizabeth Health Center for treatment. She is listed in stable condition. Youngstown is entering a new chapter after Fire Chief Barry Finley announced his resignation. Mayor-elect Derek McDowell praised Finley for his decades of service, noting his legacy in training firefighters and protecting residents. McDowell said he will select the next fire chief with professionalism and experience, prioritizing a smooth transition and continued stability in city fire services. It's 30 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News, brought to you by Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency. Call 330-428-0610 to bring your dreams to life with travel. I'm Jeff Mears.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency is a locally woman-owned travel agency helping you see the world. Lisa books any and all types of travel, honeymoons, all-inclusive, cruises, Disney, along with bachelor and bachelorette trips and destination weddings with low deposit, and you set your monthly payments. Mention Q92 to get $50 on board cruise, credit, cabin, or $150 off your non-canceled vacation or honeymoon. Call 330-428-0610. Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency. If you don't go, you won't know.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000. Cloudy skies for the most part through the afternoon hours today. Our high right around 32 degrees, staying dry. Overnight, some light snow moving in, less than a half an inch by dawn. Our low in the lower 20s. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Live from the AM1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball!
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
It's back to him. Again, it's Chinyalu defending. Help from Klajon. Evans for 3.
6 to go here from Allen Fieldhouse. Ball launches and hits. Biggest lead of the night for UConn. It's 6:55-49.
I mean, Carolina's trying to break. Did they lose the last 3 times against Kentucky?
Dixon on the drive, lays it up and in. Fox dancing and hitting over Jaron Jackson Jr.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. 10 minutes after 4. Welcome into hour 2 of the program. Sam Bourquin here. Ryan Rainsberg on the other side. Jeff Mears is working hard today in the AM 1310 WDPN newsroom. Lots of stuff going on today. Early signing day for college football. Got some young men that made their decisions, put their names on the dotted line, and congratulations to them. Zarko over at North Canton Hoover, Preston Daisy at Perry, Gavin Gregory at West Branch. Shout out, congratulations. Brian Hartline is going to be leaving Ohio State at some point to be the new head football coach at USF, otherwise known as the University of South Florida. What a great program. What a great program to take over and make your own. Congratulations to Brian Hartline. And he'll finish out with Ohio State, as far as they go, and then he'll put all his eggs in the basket of South Florida when the opportunity arises. Couple of high school football coaching openings now. St. Thomas is looking for a head football coach. Kevin Henderson has stepped down from the program. And Brian Gamble has stepped down as the head football coach at Sandy Valley. So St. Thomas and Sandy Valley on the lookout for new head football coaches as of today. Text line open 330-924-7088. 330-924-7088. Cavs Blazers tonight at 7 up at the Rocket Arena. Cavs a 10.5-point favorite today. against the Blazers. High school basketball last night. We tipped off our coverage last night here on 1310 WDPN and across the hall at Q92. You got a chance to listen to Louisville beat West Branch last night, 44-37. Christian had the call here on DPN. And we had the call for you over on Q92 radio last night, myself and Lee Foster, as we took you courtside for the first time this year on Q92, as Canton McKinley knocked off Akron St. Vincent St. Mary 68-59. So congrats to the Leps and the Pups for picking up wins last night on the airwaves. This Friday night, Christian will be in Alliance as the Alliance Aviators take on Salem. Tip-off around 7 here on 1310 WDPN and all the social media platforms. Myself and Lee Foster, we will take you courtside on Q92 Friday night as Perry will be at Louisville for a tip of around 7 o'clock from the home of the Leopards. That'll be on Q92. So we're looking forward to that. And I'll be doing my show live from Louisville on Friday afternoon beginning at 3. Just heard from the outstanding AD at Louisville, Terry Horn, and she kind of laid out the parameters, and we'll figure it out. But we always appreciate their hospitality. They are one of the most hospitable schools in the county. And we always appreciate that. Love going over to Louisville. We'll have the Leopards and Perry for you Friday night on 92.5 FM Q92. So we're looking forward to that and catching up with maybe Terry on the show and Coach Wirtz and maybe some of the players. That'll be coming up Friday afternoon beginning at 3 here. The Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. So we're looking forward to that as well. FM-wise, basketball coming up down the road. We got some good matchups coming for you. Just going to handpick a couple of these. December the 12th, planning on Hoover at Jackson. Coming up here also in December, we will have Glen Oak at McKinley on the 16th. We are planning on Green Lake on the 19th. We go into January. Massillon at Canton Central Catholic on the 9th. McKinley Hoover on January 13th. That will be fun. We got some big games coming up here in February as well. Richmond Heights at North Canton Hoover is one of the games we've got on the docket. So we got some good hoops coming on Q92. Also, Christian's got a great slate of games coming your way all season long on AM 1310 WDPN, which is right here. All right, we have 4:15. We're going to hear from Coach Kevin Stefanski coming up. We're going to hear a little bit more from Ryan Day, the head football coach at Ohio State, as they get ready for Indiana. Saturday night, the Buckeyes are still hanging in there as a 5.5-point favorite against the Hoosiers on Saturday night at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. That's going to be quite the sight, right? Don't you think Indiana's going to play this game like a Super Bowl? Right? They didn't play the Buckeyes this year, right? So this will be their first meeting. They had all that hoopla and all that stuff last year until they ran into the Buckeyes, and Ohio State took care of them. But the Hoosiers are back. They're better. They got their coach locked in for the next several years, Kurt Cignetti. They made the Big Ten championship game. It's in their home state. Here come the big, bad Ohio State Buckeyes, the number one team in the country. Don't you think Indiana's going to play this game like it's Super Bowl 60? I sure do. And why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? They still probably have a little something to prove on a national landscape. I will say this. If they give Ohio State everything they can handle, and I think that they might, then you'll know how really good this Indiana team is. And I went on record yesterday, and I'll say it again today. I don't care who wins this Big Ten championship game. I don't care who loses the Big Ten championship game. Both teams are getting in to the playoffs, and both teams are going to get a first-round bye. That's what I believe. I don't know what that goofy committee will say, but I believe no matter what happens Saturday night, Ohio State, Indiana, will both get byes in the upcoming college football playoffs. That's just my opinion. You agree with that? You disagree with that? I think that makes sense. I think it's fair. Well, we'll see. CFP rankings were released last night. Your top 4, Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech. Oregon 5, Ole Miss 6, Texas A&M 7, Oklahoma was 8, Alabama 9, Notre Dame 10, 11 BYU, 12 Miami. Texas is just on the outside looking in. And Vandy's right behind them. Okay? So keep your eyes on Texas and Vanderbilt. Now, with the conference championship games coming up this weekend, well, you got Ohio State, Indiana. You got Alabama, Georgia. You've got Texas Tech, BYU. You've got Duke, Virginia. So, like, Texas, they can't do anything. Vanderbilt can't do anything. They played their games. They just have to sit and wait. Now, if there is chaos, which usually there is, then who knows what will happen between the 1 and 12 spot by the time they announce those rankings coming up on Sunday. I think they're going to do that around noon. So who knows? Who knows what that committee will do? Well, we'll know. Like, we should know, like us, the football fans, the people that have, football prowess. We should know by midnight Saturday what that top 12 in the CFP is going to look like. We should know. Now, the committee will say, oh, well, we were up till 5 in the morning and we had to break and we had to come back and meet for 3 more hours. And, we had to order out sushi. And, we had to, you know how that goes. It's such a painstaking process for the committee. But they won't let us know what happens until about noon on Monday or on Sunday. But we should know. Us savvy college football fans, we should know by about midnight coming up here on Saturday. I had a conversation with our sales president extraordinaire, Mark O'Brien, before the show today. We were just kind of talking about Ohio State, Indiana, when the game was going to be played, what he thought would happen. And we both kind of came to the conclusion, what is at stake here for Indiana and Ohio State? The number 1 and number 2 teams in the country. Both are 12-0. Both have rolled through their schedule. Now, I know Indiana had that really tough game with Penn State. Like, they escaped. Okay? That was basically their only close call of the year. Buckeyes rolled everybody. Yeah, close game with Texas, 14-7. That was a long time ago. I think we all know Ohio State's pretty good. So I'm thinking, what does this conference championship mean? I already said, whatever happens, both teams are going to get a bye in the first round. I believe that. Now, again, I can't trust this committee. Like, I can see Georgia beating Alabama in the SEC title game, and if Indiana would lose, they would move Indiana, or they can't wait to get them out of there. Can't wait to shove them down. Now, Indiana would still make the playoffs, but they would probably host the playoff game. And Georgia would vault right into the number 2 spot. I don't want to sound like the Midwest guy, the Big Ten guy. The woe is us. But the narrative is out there. We all know. They don't even hide from it anymore. ESPN wants SEC football to dominate the landscape. We all know it. They know we know it. We know they know that we know that they know. Doesn't matter. Doesn't stop them. That's the agenda. That's the narrative. And that's what it'll be. That's what it'll be. Ole Miss is still number 6. Now they don't have Lane Kiffin. They don't have half their staff. But they're still a really good football team. I wouldn't penalize them. Texas A&M is in there at number 7. And how did Alabama jump over Notre Dame? Explain that one to me. Notre Dame went out west. They pounded Stanford like they should have. What was it, 49-20? Alabama just ekes by a very mediocre Auburn team in the Iron Bowl. Oh, okay, let's move Alabama over Notre Dame. You can see what they're doing already. You can see it. They're setting it up. They're setting it up for SEC dominance because that's what they want. And I'm not going to sit here and moan and cry and boo-hoo about it. I know what the deal is. You all know what the deal is. They know what the deal is. But if we're going to talk fair, if we're going to talk proper, if we're going to talk what should be based on the results, Ohio State and Indiana should both go in the playoffs and both get first-round byes, no matter what happens to each of their teams on Saturday night. Shouldn't make a lick of difference. The only way that I would boot Indiana down is if Ohio State wins that game 56-7. Then I might have some questions. But I don't believe that that's going to happen. I really, truly believe that this game is going to be 31-14, 31-17 Ohio State. Maybe even a little bit closer than that. Maybe 31-20. Who knows? But you can see the committee working. You can see them behind the curtain. Moving a team up one here, moving a team up one over there, bringing somebody down here. Oh, they won't notice. Shh, keep that quiet. It's SEC. We did. You can see it. You can see the wheels in motion. And as far as these conference championship games are concerned, I would not be surprised if within the next 2 to 3 years they're gone. But that's a whole lot of cash to be flushing down the toilet. And I don't know if anybody there in the realm of big business is ready to say goodbye to several millions of dollars. Because that we all know that's the big component here is cash. Cash is king. Sam, in my opinion, I think the conference championship game will no longer be played after this year. I don't know if it'll be quite that quick, but I think it'll be quick. And then you know what happens when they make those announcements? You'll wake up the next morning and you'll see breaking news. College football has decided to implement a 24-team playoff system. Now they can recoup all the tens of millions of dollars lost on these conference championship games. All you got to do is follow the money. 26 minutes after the hour, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Let's hang out here, 1310 WDPN.
You've always enjoyed an active lifestyle, hiking with family, resort vacations, the occasional trip to the spa, and nights out with friends at your favorite restaurants. You want and need your lifestyle to follow you into your retirement years. Now, imagine a place with peaceful surroundings, resort amenities, and easy access to city life. It's just around the corner at Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks has earned a reputation as more than a retirement destination, but also a place to call home. An independent consultant for senior living rated Copeland Oaks with a perfect score, and it's easy to see why. Maintain your lifestyle on the beautiful Copeland Oaks campus with all the amenities you love, and if you need it down the road, assistance is there. Keep living your life to its fullest at Copeland Oaks, your all-inclusive senior living resort. Visit CopelandOaks.com for more information. That's CopelandOaks.com.
High school basketball is on AM 1310 WDPN all season long. Brought to you by SARTA. I'm Christian Bigglesworth, calling boys and girls action from around the Eastern Buckeye Conference, the Alliance Aviators, the Marlington Dukes, and the West Branch Warriors. And this year, listen live and free on the AM 1310 WDPN Facebook and X pages and the Q92 YouTube channel. High school basketball, powered by SARTA on AM 1310 WDPN.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
You know what time it is when you hear that music, right? It's time for Sammy's Best Bet, Monday through Friday, 4:29 here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. We try to give you a little winner for that night, give you a little extra reason, extra incentive to kick back and watch a sporting event. Oh, Sammy's Best Bet has been anything but best. We own it. We're 5-6. So we're a little bit under the 500 mark. So we get a win tonight. We're back on the saddle again at 500, and now we'll make our move, right? Okay. Let's go to college basketball tonight. And we're going to go out on the West Coast. But that doesn't necessarily mean conference play, West Coast, because it's UCLA and Washington. Oh, that's right. They're in the Big Ten. But that's where we're going. UCLA at Washington tonight. The Bruins and the Huskies will get together out in the Great Northwest at Alaska Airlines Arena. UCLA is giving 1.5 to the Huskies tonight. This is an 11 o'clock tip-off, and you can watch it on the Big Ten Network. So we've given you a reason to stay up way past your bedtime tonight because Sammy's Best Bet is going to be with the home team. We're going to back the Huskies tonight. They're a pretty good road team. The court, like the fans, are right on top of you. They're 3-0 at home this year so far. UCLA hasn't played an away game yet. Huh? I like this. Washington can score, too. About 83 points a game. UCLA's given up 77. Not sure why UCLA's even favored here. Sammy's Best Bet tonight, we're going to go with the Dogs. The Washington Huskies tonight, plus 1.5 against UCLA. That is Sammy B's Best Bet of the day. News is next, 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. The Inspector General for the Defense Department, the watchdog group for the Pentagon, has concluded that Secretary Pete Hegseth endangered U.S. troops when he shared information about a U.S. strike on Yemen on the messaging app Signal. Sources tell ABC News that the report also determined the information in the group chat was properly classified by U.S. Central Command before Hegseth shared it. More from ABC's Louis Martinez.
Two sources familiar with the report confirmed to ABC News that Secretary Hegseth risked U.S. military personnel by exposing what was classified information that was classified by U.S. Central Command about an upcoming military strike against Yemen. He shared that information on the messaging app Signal, and he also included, as part of that group chat, his family, their close aides, and then unknowingly a reporter for The Atlantic, who then made the situation public.
President Trump says he's standing by Hegseth. Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar of Texas is thanking President Trump for pardoning him and his wife in a federal bribery and conspiracy case. Trump says without presenting evidence that Cuellar and his wife Imelda were prosecuted because the congressman had been critical of President Joe Biden's immigration policies. Trump said today on social media Cuellar bravely spoke out against open borders. He also says Cuellar's nightmare is finally over. The congressman says Trump's pardon gives him a clean slate and lets him move forward for South Texas. President Trump has ramped up his attacks on Somalia and the Somali immigrants who are living in the United States. The Trump administration has also canceled citizenship applications and ceremonies for people from 19 countries they deem as concerning, with Somalia on that list. More from ABC's Luke Barr.
The United States has paused all pending applications from the 19 so-called countries of concern, meaning Afghanistan, Iran, Venezuela, meaning even those with pending green card applications will be subject to a pause and a review. Now, a memo that was posted on Tuesday said that anyone from the travel ban list and is in the United States would have their application for asylum and other benefits, including a green card, paused. Now, a lawyer that I spoke with last night said that this is going to be challenged in court.
A doctor who pleaded guilty to selling ketamine to Matthew Perry before the actor's overdose death is set to be sentenced. Dr. Salvador Plasencia admitted to illegally selling ketamine to Perry, knowing he was a struggling addict. Prosecutors are asking for a 3-year prison sentence. Plasencia has surrendered his medical license and pleaded guilty to 4 counts of distribution. His lawyers say he deserves no prison time, only probation. Other defendants in the case will be sentenced in the coming months. Perry died in 2023. It's 29 degrees in Alliance at 4:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Dry and cloudy for the most part through your Wednesday afternoon. Our high today, 32 degrees. Overnight scattered snow up to a half an inch by dawn, a low of 22. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
AM1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Text line open 330-924-7088. That's 330-924-7088. If you missed Sammy B's best bet of the day, we got the Washington Huskies tonight, plus 1.5 at home against the Bruins of UCLA. Hey, some NBA stuff here. I thought this was interesting. First of all, I saw the story that Chris Paul had been more or less sent home by the Los Angeles Clippers. Okay. Clippers say, we are parting ways with Chris, and he will no longer be with the team. That was Clippers president Lawrence Frank. We will work with him on the next step of his career. Chris is a legendary Clipper who had a historic career. I want to make one thing very clear. No one is blaming Chris for our underperformance. I accept responsibility for the record we have right now. There are a lot of reasons why we have struggled. We're grateful for the impact Chris has made on our franchise. So I looked around here a little bit. Chris Paul, believe it or not, is in his 21st season in the league. He has already announced this will be his last. He struck a 1-year deal with the Clippers this past offseason, $3.6 million. And he got to go back with the franchise he spent 6 years with earlier in his career. Paul has played for 7 franchises throughout his career. He's a 12-time All-Star. Led the league in assists 5 times, led the league in steals 6 times. Never won a ring. But no doubt he's a future Hall of Famer. Okay. So Chris Paul has been sent home by the Clippers. They're having a bad year. They stink. The betting odds, because now you can wager on anything in the world today, Chris Paul is plus 300 to land with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I said, huh? Let me look at that a little bit closer. Chris Paul is plus 300 on the Vegas betting line to land with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay, how would that work? The Cavs are already in the second apron. Chris Paul is at $3.6 million. He's already said this is going to be his last year. But now the Cavaliers all of a sudden look very beatable. And we're not sure when Max Strus is coming back. It looks like Darius Garland plays every other game. Larry Nance Jr. is going to be out for a month. Jared Allen is always getting hurt. Sam Merrill seems to always get hurt. Would the Cleveland Cavaliers take a shot at a guy like Chris Paul? Would Chris Paul even want to be bothered to come hook up with the Cleveland Cavaliers after being pretty much released by the LA Clippers? Would this be a good fit for him? Folks, he's in his 21st year. There can't be much of anything left in the tank. I mean, there just can't be. I would say Chris Paul probably should have retired about 3 or 4 years ago. That's just me talking. But is there a path that he ends up with the Cavs and just kind of bails them out here short term maybe and rides it out with the Cavaliers the rest of the way? Because I'm going to tell you something. Vegas knows. And if they've got him at plus 300 to land with the Cleveland Cavaliers, somebody out there in one of those casinos and sports books knows something. Or that number wouldn't be where it is. It wouldn't be where it's at. So I just kind of want to throw that out there to you. I'm not saying it needs to happen. I'm not saying that it will happen. I'm not saying that I want it to happen. But I think there could be a path for Chris Paul to finish up his NBA career in a Cleveland Cavaliers uniform. If he wants to go that route, if the Cleveland Cavaliers want to go that route. Again, you're already in the second apron. I don't even know what that means as far as adding another $3.6 million. Well, probably a little bit less than that because we've played, 20 games, maybe almost a quarter of the season. So maybe some of that money comes off of that guaranteed deal. I'm not sure how that works. I don't profess to even understand that whole salary cap in the second apron and the apron and the spoon and the fork. I don't know anything about that stuff. But what I'm saying is, if somebody in Vegas knows that there's a path, then you might see that happen. And would you even want that to happen? I'm not saying the Cavs are in disarray. I'm not saying they're in trouble. I'm not saying that they've got no chance to compete for a division title or a Eastern Conference championship. But what I am saying is this team is a long way away from the team from a year ago. And that 15-0 start last year, it just keeps sticking in my head. Me full well knowing that was, we all saw it happen. It was real. But that's not the way things happen. Cavaliers right now are 13-9 on the season. They're 8-4 at home. They're 5-5 they're 5-5 in their last 10. Now they should beat Portland tonight. By the way, that spread just went up. It went from 10.5 to 11.5. Cavs favored over the Blazers. Portland's lost 3 in a row. They're 2-8 in their last 10. They're not very good. They're just not very good. So the Cavs should win tonight. Allen is already out. Lonzo Ball is still a game-time decision with illness. Even with all that being said, the Cavs should beat Portland. The Cavs also have a couple more games coming up the rest of the week. Let's see. They've got the Spurs coming up 7:30 on Friday. They've got Golden State at 7:30 coming up on Saturday night at Rockin' Arena. That'll be fun. Always fun when Steph and Draymond and the Warriors come to town. But would you want to mess around with Chris Paul? If they could make it happen, would you? I don't know. You think he could bring some stability to the backcourt, some presence to the locker room? Would it be worth it? Just throwing that out there. What do you think? 330-924-7088. Let me know what you think there. I'd be okay with it either way. Again, I thought Chris Paul should have retired a couple years ago, but that's not my decision to make.
I don't know. It sounds like they might just need the manpower if they have that many injuries.
That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
I mean, Merrill's a guard, he's out. Strus is a guard, he's out. Darius Garland, I don't know. He's not available as much as I would like him to be. And I'm not saying it's his fault. It is what it is. So that's 3 guards right there that you just don't know if you're going to get the services. And look, here's the other thing. Not only is Chris Paul in his 21st year in the NBA, what else is Chris Paul? He's always hurt. Thumb, knee, ankle, wrist, shoulder. He's always getting hurt. So there's another reason why I might probably pump the brakes on that. But I'm sure there's conversations being had with the Cavs and the Clippers and maybe some other teams in the NBA. I'm sure that those conversations are being held as we speak.
Maybe it's just a literal thing. Like, people think he belongs there with all the other injuries that are happening.
Gosh, 21 years.
That's so unfortunate.
And even in the heyday of Chris Paul, like it seemed to me that every time I turned around, he was getting hurt. He's just one of those guys. It's just the injuries would find him. It didn't matter what team. It didn't matter if it was the regular season. It didn't matter if the playoffs. Chris Paul always was getting injured. So, not sure I want to go down that path, but for the sake of extra insurance, I might be willing to have that conversation. All right, we're going to step out a little bit early. It's 4:46 here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM1310 WDPN. When we get back, we'll hear from the head football coach of the Cleveland Browns. And normally on a day like today, I wouldn't play Kevin Stefanski. But today, because of Deshaun Watson is back on the practice field, Shedeur Sanders was kind of talking about it. Yeah, probably worth a listen. So we'll come back. We'll hear from the coach of the Browns, Kevin Stefanski, at the Sam Bourquin Show. We'll roll on from AM 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
It's back. Canton Greek Fish Fry. Drive-through only. This Friday from 4 to 6:30 p.m. at St. Harlumbus, 251 25th Street Northwest. Order online by 7 p.m. on Thursday or call 330-454-7278. Visit CantonGreekFishFry.com for menu and details.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
High school basketball is on AM 1310 WDPN all season long. Brought to you by SARTA. I'm Christian Bigglesworth, calling boys and girls action from around the Eastern Buckeye Conference, the Alliance Aviators, the Marlington Dukes, and the West Branch Warriors. And this year, listen live and free on the AM 1310 WDPN Facebook and X pages and the Q92 YouTube channel. High school basketball, powered by SARTA on AM 1310 WDPN.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them, epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation. Because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready-to-act.
$1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Text line open 330-924-708. Hey, while you're at it, if you're on TikTok, give me a follow on TikTok at Sam Bourquin16. At Sam Bourquin16 on TikTok. Love to have you follow me there. I'm not super duper active on TikTok, but I do post some stuff every once in a while. So, let's hook it up there.
Yeah, I have one now, too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nope. When'd you start?
A week ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, I made one to post my stream clips to. I refuse to watch anything on it. Except for the stuff that I post.
Well, I'll what's your handle?
It's Link's Chain.
Hold on here a minute now. Holy smokes. I wasn't expecting that.
You thought it was going to be my name, right?
Well, I thought it was going to be something.
Yeah, that'd be too easy.
It made sense.
No,
all
no,
right.
The internet's different.
Okay, what is it now?
Link's Chain.
Links? Is that all one word?
Yep. It's chain links backwards.
Links Chain.
Yep.
Links Chain. All right. Search.
I can tell you there's not going to be much crossover in our interests. We'll work this out
What's
after.
your first? I think I got you. Is it like a green?
Yep.
Okay.
You found me.
I'm following.
Oh, no.
There. Me, Mr. No Technology. I figured it out already.
Yeah,
and
that's
you now
actually
have a follower.
That's impressive. I haven't had that account very long, so it's still actually hard to find most places.
Yeah.
Can't type that on YouTube and get my YouTube channel. Doesn't work.
There you go. You got 4 followers now.
Oh, man.
Follow him. Links
boy.
Chain on TikTok. Our very own Ryan Rainsberg. Okay. Well, I can't wait to see what comes up there. All right. Let's check in with the head football coach of the Cleveland Browns now, Kevin Stefanski. This is a little shorty today. It's only about 7 minutes, 8 minutes or so. And he talked about Deshaun Watson being back in practice, and Shador had thoughts. And, well, it's December, and it's the Cleveland Browns football program. Here you are, Kevin Stefanski, 1310 WDPN. Listen up.
Finally, to get out there on the practice field with his teammates, go through individual, I think is really great for him. So excited for him. His focus, my focus is obviously getting him back to playing football, practicing football, which he hasn't done in over a year. So it's a good next step for him. But our focus, obviously, continues to remain on the Tennessee Titans big game on Sunday at our place. Obviously, have to play our best, have to play complimentary football, which is a big emphasis for us every week. Certainly, big emphasis for us this week to do all those things that you do in a football game to keep yourself ahead of it, if you will. So we got to do a great job winning field position on special teams, taking the ball away on defense, getting stops, and offensively doing a nice job of taking care of the ball and scoring points. So with that, I'll take any questions.
What was it that you've seen out of Deshaun the last couple that made you guys determine this was the moment?
Yeah, I think he's been working so hard with the training staff and coming along, getting through all of his rehab. So he's cleared, ready to go to the practice portion of this. So that's really what it is.
The desire of the organization to see him on the playing field, if possible.
Yeah, really not my focus. Not his focus right this minute. His focus is putting a helmet on again for the first time, shoulder pads, throwing the football. That's where the focus is, Tony.
You're told when he might be ready to play?
Yeah, really not the focus for me, for him, for us. Our focus is activating this practice window, seeing him on the practice field, getting him into individual, those type of things. And I think I want to point out he's worked really, really hard to rehab from this. He's done everything that's asked of him. So he's been so supportive in the meeting room, on the game field with the players. Now he gets to go do that on the practice field as well.
Reaction, Kevin, when he was told this is happening?
I think there's constant dialogue with the players, with the training staff, with AB. I know he's excited to get back out there practicing with his teammates.
Practice reps have been such a topic this year. How do you incorporate reps for him?
Yeah, obviously he'll just be getting some individual reps right now, just getting him going.
Would the next step be scout team?
Potentially, yeah.
The Titans, Kevin, obviously you guys did your due diligence on Cam Ward during the pre-draft process. Just what do you see from him as a young quarterback in this league? What challenges does he present?
Yeah, has a ton of talent, and you see it on tape. Some of the throws, the extended plays, can really fit it into tight windows. Have a lot of respect for his mind and how he thinks about the game. So he presents quite the challenge.
The results for Cam and the Titans maybe haven't shown in on-field stats or even wins. But as someone who's also coaching two rookie quarterbacks, what do you look for on a week-to-week basis to know that rookie quarterback is making progress, even when the wins or the stats might not be showing it?
I think it's so specific, Daniel, to the player. Don't love to compare guys, across that type of cross-section. Yeah, other than to say with all rookies at every position, you're looking for improvement week to week, and definitely at the quarterback position, no different.
To Cam, kind of going back to the work you guys did in the pre-draft, where have you seen specific improvements from what you saw of him back then on the film and everything to what you see when you watch him?
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for the young man. He's done a nice job to date. He can make every throw. I think it's evident on tape.
The Titans have the best punt returner in football this year. Will there be significant changes made on the coverage unit?
They're excellent on special teams, Tony, just in general. Obviously, he's a great returner, speed, does it both, kick returner and punt returner. So it's quite a challenge for our units, period. So not going to get into game plan specifics, but obviously have a ton of respect for their entire group.
What were those dealings with Cam Ward like, right? You spent a bunch of time with him leading up to the draft. How well did you get to know him? What did you learn about him?
I think every year you feel like you get to know a lot of guys, Scott, and you just think back to some of the conversations you have with guys. I mean, I could go back to the combine conversations you had with guys that are now since retired. So you always kind of develop relationships with players. And obviously last season we saw a bunch of players live and at their colleges and those type of things. But yeah, a ton of respect for the young man. Obviously he's a guy that is very talented, was drafted there for a reason.
Cam, he's been sacked 48 times. That's the worst number in the league. I guess, do you guys see some opportunities there with how your D-line has been playing across the board?
Our guys keep the focus on doing their job. I mean, there's a style to how we play, Ashley, as you know, just the DNA and how we rush and how relentless we are. And, I think that's a a mindset of the entire room.
How has Deshaun been helpful to Shedeur and Dylan in getting both of those guys ready to play?
Yeah, just by being himself. And I've told you guys over the course of time, just in the meeting room, it's fun to be in there with all those guys: Bailey, Shedeur, Dylan, Coach Muss, Tommy. Everybody's got a different perspective of this game, and I think having a guy like Deshaun in there who's seen so much and has been through different situations and can provide great counsel to young quarterbacks, I just think that's invaluable.
You expressed a lot of confidence in Larvin on Monday. Will he retain the punt return?
Yes.
And the other question is, with Teller out, you're putting Jenkins in there. Is there any consideration to seeing Zinter?
Yeah, we talk through all those type of things, Tony. There's always things that we discuss throughout the week.
With Malik, obviously done for the season, would you expect to see more of Mike Hall, and is he physically able to take on a bigger workload coming out of the surgery?
I would expect that Mike continues to, do more in these games and get more comfortable. And obviously with Malik out, it's not going to be one person that has to step up into that role. It's really going to be everybody has to step their game up.
Like, have any limitations?
No.
With Jimmy at the owners' meeting saying that the Deshaun trade was a swing and a miss, do you think this represents any opportunity to try to salvage anything from that trade?
Yeah, not my focus, Mary Kay. Really just excited for him to be able to get back out there on the field. I think for any player, when you're rehabbing, the next step, getting out there on the practice field, is a big step, so I'm excited for him.
There you go, Kevin Stefanski, head coach of the Cleveland Browns, talking about the return of one Deshaun Watson to the practice field up in Berea. Holy smokes. What a year this has been, right? They were kind of in the tank mode to start. They've found their way to a 3-win season. Shedeur Sanders finally got on the field. We didn't see a whole lot of great stuff from Dylan Gabriel. Again, very small sample size. Probably not enough of a sample size to get a true reading. But everybody wants to know right now. So Shedeur goes out there, and his sample size hasn't been great. Again, very small sample size, but it hasn't been great. Guys have been injured, banged up. Some guys probably in some way, shape, or form have kind of checked out, if you know what I mean. 4 games to go, and this miserable season will be over. And then there's the offseason. And then there's hope springs eternal. And then there's the NFL draft, and then we go down this road again. Okay. The news is coming up next with Jeff Mears. We've got one more big hour to go here on the Sam Bourquin Show. AM1310 WDPN. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms. We'll take a break and come back. Stay with us.
An important part of the Alliance community since 1953. You're listening to AM1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Lawmakers raising concerns about U.S. military strikes in September on an alleged drug vessel off the coast of Venezuela and whether 2 survivors were killed in a second strike. The White House admitted a second strike was carried out on the same vessel in September, saying Admiral Mitch Bradley ordered a follow-up strike. President Trump says he did not know about a second strike. Today at the White House, he talked about the alleged drug boats.
Whoever's piloting those boats, most of them are gone. But whoever are piloting those boats, they're guilty of trying to kill people in our country.
In Los Angeles, Dr. Salvador Plasencia, who provided the drug ketamine to actor Matthew Perry, was sentenced to serve 30 months after pleading guilty. Plasencia was one of 2 primary targets of the investigation into Perry's overdose death. He and a woman known as the Ketamine Queen sold Perry large amounts of the drug typically used in anesthesia. She'll be sentenced in February. On Wall Street today, stocks finishing up. This is ABC News.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage? Weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans? Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Find the most wonderful gifts at Macy's Friends and Family Sale with incredible deals on our best brands like Donna Karan, Avec Les Filles, Calvin Klein, and more, all at 30% off. Plus, take 15% off beauty and fragrance from Lancôme, Clinique, and Yves Saint Laurent. Or Star Rewards members can earn $20 in Star Money for every $100 spent on eligible brands. Going on now, only at Macy's Friends and Family Sale. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, it's 5:02. This news a service of Bonfort Glass. A Stark County grand jury has declined to indict a man for his role in a deadly Canton shooting. The no bill for 19-year-old Devion Newman of Massillon was issued Tuesday. He had been charged with murder, felonious assault, and tampering with evidence. 21-year-old Darrell Bryant of Jackson Township was shot November 3rd at an apartment complex on Tuscarawas Street West and died at Altman Hospital. A suspect in a murder case died by suicide this morning while housed in the Stark County Jail. Around 9:20, jail staff and medical personnel responded, performing CPR on 34-year-old Daniel Matei. He was taken to Mercy Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The sheriff's office says the incident is under investigation in coordination with the Ohio Bureau of Adult Detention and the coroner's office. Matei had been charged in the death of his roommate, Ryan Godby of Canton, and was scheduled for a plea hearing December 10th. A federal lawsuit has been filed against the city of Canton, Police Chief John Gabbard, Sergeant Michael Rastetter, and Officer Garrett Marino. The suit, filed Monday in U.S. District Court by Cassandra White, claims Marino used excessive force in the December 2023 shooting of her son, 24-year-old Zachary Fornash. It alleges Marino also used excessive force in previous cases without being disciplined. The suit claims the department has a history of violent and unconstitutional action. A department report said Marino acted within department guidelines. A Stark County grand jury declined to indict Marino for the shooting in October 2024. An East Canton man is dead following a crash in Guernsey County early this morning. The Highway Patrol says a pickup driven by 29-year-old Hayden Miller left westbound I-70 around 3:15. The truck hit a bridge railing, overturned, and struck an embankment. Miller was pronounced dead at the scene. The patrol continues to investigate. Federal charges have been filed against a Millersburg man. 44-year-old Jariah Mast is charged with attempted and engaging in illicit sexual conduct in a foreign place. He's accused of child sexual abuse in Haiti. Mast allegedly traveled to the country more than 30 times between 2002 and 2019. Much of the travel was under the auspices of his job at Millersburg-based Outreach Christian Aid Ministries. He surrendered to authorities in May 2019 and was released in October after serving 6 years of a 9-year sentence. Mast was found guilty of abusing 5 juveniles in Holmes County between 1999 and 2008. Summit County Sheriff's deputies arrested a Florida man Monday in connection with multiple break-ins in Greene. Early that morning, the Maps Air Museum reported a broken door and stolen items, including an electric bike and rifle, which were recovered later. Later in the day, a business owner on Greensburg Road spotted a man running out of his building wearing his hat and sunglasses. 43-year-old Derek Duck is charged with theft, breaking and entering, theft of a firearm, having weapons under disability, and criminal damaging. He is in the county jail. Smith Township trustees have set their 2026 priorities, including next summer's road paving. Projects include resurfacing Smith Goshen Road from 5th Street to Route 165 and part of Oyster Road. Tuesday, trustees also approved a new 3-year police dispatch contract with Sebring at $20,000 a year, plus a one-time $47,000 software upgrade. The township is accepting applications for a fiscal officer to replace Audrey Fox, whose term ends in March. The deadline is Friday. The Columbiana County Sheriff's Office has canceled the missing adult alert for Michael Arnado. The 47-year-old Hanoverton man left his home on Campbell Road November 5th and had not returned. Authorities said Arnado is insulin dependent and has memory issues. Further details were not available. A former chaplain at Alliance Community Hospital is scheduled for trial next year on 85 felony counts related to child pornography. 38-year-old Joseph Sabella of Knox Township is charged with pandering obscenity involving minors. Investigators say searches of his home found hundreds of printed and electronic images of minors in sex acts or nudity. Sabella remains free on a $50,000 bond. His trial in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court is set for February 17th and a final status hearing February 9th. A Columbiana man has filed an appeal after being sentenced to prison for a crash that seriously injured a 24-year-old woman. 65-year-old Christopher Maley previously pleaded no contest to aggravated vehicular assault and OVI. Columbiana County Common Pleas Judge Megan Bickerton sentenced him to 30 months in prison. The charges stemmed from an August 2023 crash in which Maley's SUV went left of center and collided with a car on State Route 14 near County Line Road. The Mahoning County Coroner's Office has identified a woman who died in a three-car crash in Youngstown over the weekend. 48-year-old Kelly Grimes was killed in the accident, which occurred Saturday night on the Madison Avenue Expressway. Another driver is in serious but stable condition. Youngstown police continue to investigate the cause of the accident. A man has died as a result of a natural gas explosion November 22nd at Phoenix House Senior Living in Austintown. The blast on the fourth floor injured 13 people and forced 141 to evacuate. Investigators are working to determine the source of the gas and how it ignited. One man critically injured in the blast died Tuesday at a hospital in Cleveland. He was identified as 63-year-old Stephen Smith. Tenants are currently living in hotels and assisted living facilities. Donations are being collected by a coalition of nonprofits. The complex primarily housed seniors, persons with disabilities, and low-income residents. A 13-year-old girl slipped into the Mahoning River early this morning and was rescued by Youngstown firefighters. WKBN-TV reports the girl told police she was walking along the Fifth Avenue Bridge when her hat blew off and she tried to catch it, causing her to fall into the water. A passerby heard her screaming and alerted authorities. She was taken to St. Elizabeth Health Center and is listed in stable condition. Youngstown Mayor-elect Derek McDowell is praising Fire Chief Barry Finley following his resignation, highlighting his decades of service and leadership. McDowell said Finley built a legacy through training firefighters and protecting residents and thanked him for his dedication to public safety. The mayor-elect said he will select the next fire chief with professionalism and experience, ensuring a smooth transition and continued stability in city fire services. I-271 is open in both directions from I-71 in Medina County to I-77 in Summit County after a tanker carrying ethanol overturned this morning near Milepost 4 in Granger Township. About 4,000 gallons of ethanol spilled. Hazmat crews cleaned the road. The 32-year-old driver from Maple Heights was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say alcohol and drugs were not factors. 2 suspects have been indicted in Summit County for a road rage incident. 22-year-old Kamar Parham of Akron faces 3 counts of felonious assault with gun specifications and 1 count of tampering with evidence. His 22-year-old passenger, Lachey Jackson of Canton, was also indicted on 3 counts of felonious assault with firearm specifications. The incident began November 9th on Home Avenue in Akron and escalated into Cuyahoga Falls. That's where police say bullets struck 2 vehicles. No one was injured. Both suspects had surrendered to U.S. Marshals and are in custody at the county jail. A man has been arrested for burglary and theft involving the home of a deceased Ashtabula County man. 21-year-old Thurmond Atkins is charged with burglary, trespass, theft, unauthorized use of a vehicle, and criminal mischief. Investigators say he entered the Andover Township home after the 76-year-old man had died, stole items including his vehicle and safe, and returned later to steal more. Detectives found the vehicle in Williamsfield Township and the safe in Meadville, Pennsylvania. Authorities say more suspects may be involved. The investigation continues. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 47,882, up 408 points. The Nasdaq Composite ended 40 points higher at 23,454, and the S&P 500 closed at 6,849, up 20 points. It's 29 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News, brought to you by Bonford Glass. I'm Jeff Mears.
Bonford Glass reminds you that fall is just around the corner and winter won't be far behind. And now's the time to think about those commercial doors and windows that need a little work. When the mercury in the old thermometer starts to plummet and the cold wind starts to blow, you'll want to be warm and cozy inside. And you can be with the help of the experts at Bonford Glass. They can replace broken or cracked windows and doors quite economically with unsurpassed service. Bonfords can even handle those odd and different sized windows, as well as replacing the old hardware and providing weather stripping for commercial doors of all types. No matter what kind of door or window treatment you need, the crew at Bonford Glass can handle it. Imagine the comfort of a pleasantly warm home, and your fuel bill savings will add up too. Call the glass experts at Bonford Glass at 330-823-0450. Bonford Glass, 30 South Union Avenue, in Alliance.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
For your Wednesday afternoon, look for a high near 32 degrees, cloudy skies for the most part, staying dry. Overnight, some scattered light snow up to a half an inch by dawn, our low 22. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball!
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
Again, it's Chinyelu defending. Help from Klajon. Evans for three.
6 to go here from Allen Fieldhouse. Ball launches and hits. Biggest lead of the night for UConn. It's 6:55-49.
I believe Carolina's trying to break. Did they lose the last 3 times against Kentucky?
Dixon on the drive, lays it up and in. Fox dancing and hitting over Jaron Jackson Jr.
Hey, the gang's all here. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. It's hour 3 right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Hope you're having a great day, staying warm, staying safe. Appreciate you hanging out with us here on the show until 6 o'clock tonight. Text line 330-924-7088. If you are watching and listening to the show on any of our streams today, on Facebook, WDPN X, Twitter, Q92 Radio, YouTube channel, hello to you. Thank you for joining us on the social media platforms today. If you happen to be on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel right now, just pop over and hit that subscribe button for me. That would be much appreciated. Thanks for coming on today. We'll be with you till 6. Buckeyes' loss is South Florida's gain. What are you talking about? Well, if you haven't heard, if you're just joining us for the first time today, let you get settled into your car right now, or maybe you're just walking in the house and you popped on the Alexa, maybe you're on your tablet, you're listening on your phone. I'll give you a second to decompress here. Okay, Ohio State's losing their offensive coordinator. Coach Brian Hartline is leaving to go take over the new head football coaching position at South Florida. So Coach Hartline is leaving. He's no longer a Buckeye. He's going to be a Bull. But he will stay on with Ohio State. He will stay on Ryan Day's coaching staff until the Ohio State football season has come to an end. So congratulations to the former Glen Oak Gold Eagle, Ohio State Buckeye. I think he played a year with the Browns too, Brian Hartline. He did. But congratulations to him, and the best of luck at South Florida. And he'll hang around and maybe help us go get another national championship before his time is done here in the Buckeye State. College football playoff rankings came out last night. Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Indiana. Number 3, Georgia. Number 4, Texas Tech. Those teams will have a bye to start the playoffs. Now is where it gets juicy. Number 5 through number 12 as follows. 5 Oregon, 6 Ole Miss, 7 Texas A&M, 8 Oklahoma, 9 Alabama, 10 Notre Dame, 11 BYU, 12 Miami. So if the playoffs started today, the Hurricanes would be at the Ducks, BYU would be at Ole Miss, Notre Dame would be at Texas A&M, and Alabama would be at Oklahoma. And then the winner of those 4 games would match up with either Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, or Texas Tech. Now, we've got the conference championship games coming up this weekend. And we should know by 11:30 or midnight what this is going to look like. Come Sunday I think they give us the 12 between noon and 1 on Sunday. So we'll be able to know by midnight. We should be able to figure out what this is going to look like, depending on what happens. If Ohio State takes care of Indiana, what if Alabama would beat Georgia? What if BYU would upset Texas Tech? Lots of stuff could go on here. Lots of stuff is in play this weekend in these championship games. Now, I could argue that the Big Ten championship game doesn't mean much. And I don't think a lot of you would disagree with me. Yeah, it's 1 versus 2. Yeah, it's for the Big Ten title. Yeah, it's going to be a heck of an atmosphere. But in the big picture, does it really mean anything? I stated earlier in the show, and I'll repeat it for those of you that are just joining us now, I don't care what happens Saturday night. I think Ohio State and Indiana will both get first-round byes in the playoffs, no matter what happens. No matter what happens Saturday night at Lucas Oil Stadium, I believe Indiana and Ohio State should both go to the playoffs, and they will both still get first-round byes. They're the only undefeated teams left. So why should they be penalized? Why should either Ohio State or Indiana be penalized because they have a loss when everybody else has 1 and some teams have 2? Doesn't make any sense to me. That being said, should be really good theater Saturday night. Should be really good. 8:15 on Fox, the Big Ten championship game. Deshaun Watson is back at practice for the Cleveland Browns. You heard from Coach Kevin Stefanski last hour about Deshaun overcoming whatever he had to overcome. The trials and tribulations and the injuries of number 4. So he was back on the practice field today. Don't exactly know what that means. I don't know if that means he's going to get some snaps. I don't know if that means he's going to play in the regular season. I wouldn't be surprised if he did get in. I mean, Shedeur will probably get a couple more starts, right? I mean, here's the deal. Here is the honest-to-goodness truth. This is a 3-win football team. I don't care if they win 4. I don't care if they win 5. They're a 3-win football team. You've probably played the last of Dylan Gabriel for the year. You'll probably give Shedeur at least a couple of more starts, if not the rest of the way. If Shedeur would happen to get hurt, then you probably throw Deshaun Watson out there. But at the end of the day, you're a very bad football team. You've got a pretty good defense, but you're a very bad football team. So does it really, does anything really make any sense one way or the other what to do with the quarterbacks in the room for the rest of the year?
Unless they have a plan.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I know.
Did you just mention the Cleveland Browns with the word plan?
Yeah, I realized it what I said when I said it.
Did you ever hear the saying, that's like mixing oil with water?
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Those two things don't mix.
There's no plan. There's no plan in place there. So at the end of the day, and I know Browns fans get so mad at me. And that's okay. You should, because that's your team. You love your team. I would be this way if somebody was talking to me this way about Ohio State or Mount or my alma mater, Central. I would be mad. So I know Browns fans are mad at me all the time. But I'm not a cheerleader for the organization. I'm not going to shill for them. I'm going to tell you how it is and how I feel. And if you don't like it and get mad at me, that's okay. I'm not going to blame you for having your opinion. But I'm just kind of putting it out there on the table that this organization stinks from the top all the way down, and they have for a long time. So does it really, what does it matter who plays quarterback for the Cleveland Browns? Seriously, I'm asking a serious question.
Well, no.
Look at me. I'm looking at I'm being as serious as I can be. Does it really matter? Does it really? What are you trying to learn? What are you trying to see? What do you not know about anybody in this quarterback room that you didn't know already? You know what you've got in Dylan Gabriel for the most part, right? Why you drafted him in the 3rd round, I don't know. You know basically what you have with Shedeur because you know why? Because you picked him in the 5th round. You know he's not going to be the guy. You already know that. So what does it matter? We've already been through the Deshaun Watson nonsense. This is what part 3 now? I mean, we haven't seen, and we got to see what we have. No, you don't. You know what you have. It's another guy that can't play. Another guy that decided to go and do what he did. And another guy that's never going to get back to where he was. I don't care what he looks like in Instagram videos, and I don't care what he looks like in B-roll from the Cleveland Browns. I don't care. I don't care. And Bailey Zappi. I mean, so at the end of the day, does it really matter? If it matters, convince me why it matters. Because of look where this team is right now. There's 4 games to go. You got guys dropping like flies. We're signing every Tom, Dick, Harry, Bum, Joe, Frank, Chris, Hank, Mel, Bob to the practice squad. There's guys out there running around right now. I don't even know their names. I don't even know their numbers. So at this point, what does it matter? Does it really, really matter?
Honestly, I think it probably matters more if they lose because then they're going to have better, luck with the draft next year.
Well, that's the thing now. They'll go screw around this week and they'll go beat Tennessee. Here, hold on. I got the standings right here. This is where we're at. All right. Right now, the Cleveland Browns are 3-9. Now, wait a minute. 3-9 is 12. We should have 5 games left then, right? We play 17 games. 12-5 is 17, so I'm leaving a game out. I gotta find out who the missing link is. But the Browns are 3-9. All right. AFC East, you've got the Patriots on top, the Bills, the Miami, the Jets are 3-9. All right. Baltimore 6-6, Pittsburgh 6-6, Cincy 4-8. The Browns are 3-9. So there's 2 3-win teams right there. Tennessee is 1-11. So there's your 1-win team. The Raiders are 2-10. There's your 2-win team. So you've got 1-win Tennessee, 2-win Vegas, and you've got 3-win Cleveland and 3-win New York. This is in the AFC. All right. Now we'll go to the NFC. The Giants are 2-11. The Saints are 2-10. The Cardinals are 3-9. You think the Saints, the Giants, the Raiders, and the Titans, do you think those teams are trying to win? You think those teams are going to win another game? See, this is where the Browns screwed up again. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me to go down the conspiracy rabbit hole, but they beat the Green Bay Packers. Okay? Big mistake. Huge mistake. All right. Browns right now should be 2-10. But they screwed around and they won the game. They screwed around and they went out to Vegas and they beat the Raiders. Whoop-de-freaking-do. You beat the Raiders. Way to go. Should probably be 1-11. And you'd still be tied with Tennessee for the worst record in the league. But now you've won 3 games. So you're probably, at this point in the year, like I said, Tennessee's not winning another game. Vegas is not winning another game. The Jets are not winning another game. The Giants are not winning another game. the Saints are not winning another game. So you're probably in that 5-6 tier in the first round of the draft as far as your draft position is concerned. And then if they go out and they beat the Titans, they'll have a 4-win team, and then, that at that point, forget it. Because there was talk today, there's been talk about maybe packaging some picks and moving up to the top of the first round to get the quarterback out of Indiana, Fernando Mendoza. And here we go again with now we're going to get rid of a bunch of picks for an unproven. Nothing against Mendoza. I think he's a great college quarterback. He's done things for Indiana football that have never been done. I'm very anxious to watch him against the Buckeyes on Saturday. But I don't know if I want to give up 2 1s and a couple of 2s to go up to the first round to get Fernando Mendoza. But this whole constant craving for Browns quarterback news just really kind of makes me laugh. It really makes me laugh. Ooh, what does it mean? How's it going to shake out? Who's going to get the snaps? Is Deshaun going to get some reps this week? What's Shedeur think about that? Bailey Zappi laughing in the background? Is Dylan Gabriel going to be the good soldier? Ooh, what does it mean? What do we do? Here, I'll tell you what you do. That's what you do. Bring on the draft. On this day in sports history, 1961, George Blanda of the Houston Oilers kicked a 55-yard field goal. Hey, that was big doings back then in 1961. How old was George Blanda when he kicked that field goal? 50? That's pretty good. On this day in 1968, the Rules Committee of Major League Baseball announced that in 1969, the pitcher's mound would be lowered from 15 to 10 inches. This was done in order to get more batting action. That's what it says, more batting action. The strike zone was also reduced from the knees to the shoulders to the top of the knees. And there are still some umpires that haven't figured that out yet. 1988, Barry Sanders of the Oklahoma State University Cowboys, he won the Heisman Trophy. On this day in 1994, Greg LeMond, remember Greg LeMond? He announced he was retiring. He was a 3-time winner of the Tour de France. And my wrestling fans out there, you know who you are. On this day in 1991, Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker battled for the WWF Championship.
Outside, it's Paul Bear grabbing the leg of the holster. Oh, referee's lost control of this one. Look at this. Flair with a chair, a steel chair. Oh. He got pile drived right into the steel chair. Wait a minute. 1, come on. 2, get out. We got a new world champion. Patrick Nicholas, Federation champion. Woo! What a miscarriage of justice. I told you so. If I was a kid, I'm going to say this, man. And new World Wrestling Federation champion, The Undertaker. This is horrendous. 3 guys it took. It took The Undertaker. Paul Bear.
Gorilla Monsoon says it was a total miscarriage of justice. The World Wrestling Federation. Oh, my gosh. If I knew then what I know now. There you go. On this day in sports history, it's the Sam Bourquin Show. We'll be back. 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, it's 5:30. The Pentagon's watchdog has determined that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth put U.S. personnel and their mission at risk when he used the Signal messaging app to convey sensitive information about a military strike against Houthi militants in Yemen. That's according to two people familiar with the findings. One of the people says Hegseth, however, has the ability to declassify material, and the report did not find he did so improperly. Hegseth denied posting classified information regarding plans for a military strike against Houthi militants in March. A review by the Pentagon Inspector General's office was delivered to lawmakers who were able to review the report in a classified facility at the Capitol. A 5-hour marathon meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin, President Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff, and the president's son-in-law Jared Kushner is being called useful by the Kremlin today. But as ABC News chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell on Ukraine points out,
crucially, there was no compromise deal on Ukraine, and few here are surprised at that outcome, believing Putin doesn't really want to end the war until he's achieved his goals. The question now is, how will President Trump respond? Witkoff and Kushner leaving Moscow early today, and they're going to brief President Trump. And for beleaguered Ukrainians, it means more bombing, more fighting, more war, and more death. Ian Pannell, ABC News in Ukraine.
The Department of Homeland Security is launching a new immigration crackdown in New Orleans. A Homeland Security official says the operation that got underway today targets violent criminals. The crackdown is the latest expansion of the Trump administration's immigration sweeps that have unfolded in other U.S. cities. Immigration officials have blanketed big cities and small towns across the nation since January while carrying out Trump's mass deportation efforts. In New Orleans, immigration lawyers say they've been inundated with calls, and some businesses have posted signs barring federal agents from entry. Louisiana's governor welcomes the crackdown. Authorities in New Zealand believe they captured a jewelry thief but are waiting on a key piece of evidence. ABC's Brian Clark explains.
Authorities in New Zealand say a 32-year-old man walked into an Auckland jewelry store, and soon after, a rare Fabergé egg pendant set with 60 white diamonds disappeared. The store called police. The man was arrested. Authorities believe he swallowed the egg, valued at $19,000. The man's due in court next week. The egg has not been recovered. Police say they're waiting for nature to take its course.
It's 28 degrees in Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Cloudy skies for the most part through the afternoon hours today. Our high right around 32 degrees, staying dry. Overnight, some light snow moving in, less than a half an inch by dawn. Our low in the lower 20s. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Well, we got a bunch of sick individuals in this building, I got to tell you. That last 3 minutes off the air. Holy cow. Oh, if the mics were live. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Don't forget, watch and like and stream all of our stuff on AM 1310 WDPN Facebook page, our Twitter page, and X, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. And don't forget, while you're there on the YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right, coming up here in a couple of minutes, we're going to replay our interview with Gavin Gregory, the outstanding tight end for the West Branch Warriors. He announced he is going to Toledo to play his college football. If you missed that in the 3 o'clock hour, we're going to bring it back for you. It's a short interview. We're going to bring that back for you here between now and 6 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. Text line open, too, 330-924-7088, 330-924-7088. Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. We haven't really spent a whole lot of time on that today.
Honestly, I don't know if you even gave it out.
Yeah, I did once, but there's so much stuff going on today. High school coaches coming and going, a National Signing Day. Did you see the latest a couple of minutes ago? Ben Roethlisberger and a couple of former Steelers are calling for the Steelers to get rid of Mike Tomlin, and they think he should go be the next head coach at Penn State. That's like the new hot one going around right now. And yes, I'm finally coming around. I think it's time. I think it's time for the Steelers and Mike Tomlin to go their separate ways.
Yeah,
it's time. He looks tired. They're not listening to him anymore.
He's been coached there for a decade?
Oh, longer than that.
Yeah.
He's one of the longest tenure coaches in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't remember a time when he wasn't the Steelers coach.
Yeah, it's time.
That's crazy.
It's time for him to move on. It would be best for everybody. Whether he's ready to go take a gig in college, I don't know. But I think it's time. No, they're not going to fire him now. They'll let him finish the year out. But I don't think he'll be back with the Steelers next year. I don't. The Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day is, from top to bottom, what are your thoughts? What's your opinion on the entire Division I college athletics landscape? I know that's kind of a wordy question. But from top to bottom, at D1, from all the sports, spring, summer, fall, winter, coaches, players, administrators, rules, from top to bottom, what's your opinion on Division I college athletics as of today? 330-924-7088, or keep those comments coming on our social media platforms. Most of you are not happy with the way things are going. George says, I'm a fan of college football first. I think the NIL, the transfer portal, have made it worse. Lloyd says, a minor league farm system for the NBA and NFL pretending to be amateur athletics. That's one of the best comments I've seen all day.
That's fantastic.
Thank you, Lloyd. Doug says, a lot needs to be fixed, but I'd still rather watch college than pro. Yeah, you could talk me into that. Mike says, NIL definitely worked for Vanderbilt and Indiana. Go check the records. Yeah. John says, everything's just tainted. Eric says, NIL has ruined it. Ed says it's broken, driven by money more than ever. Those are some of the great comments coming in. Keep those coming in on our Facebook page. What's your overall thoughts on D1 college athletics right now, with everything that's going on? Again, you can text in to 330-924-7088. But, again, lots of stuff going on today. Our interview with Gavin Gregory coming up from West Branch in a couple of minutes. Former Glen Oak standout Brian Hartline is leaving Ohio State. We've told you about this a couple of times today. He will stay on as the offensive coordinator, okay, for Ryan Day and the Buckeyes through their playoff run. But as soon as that is over, he'll be heading to South Florida to take the job with the University of South Florida Bulls down in Tampa. Got a quote here from the South Florida CEO of athletics, Rob Higgins. He says, quote, Brian Hartline was our clear-cut first choice to lead our football program into the most exciting era in program history. I am so fired up to have him leading the Bulls. He's a relentless recruiter, an outstanding developer of talent, and a gritty competitor. He comes from a championship background that is obsessed with instilling championship excellence into his players and his teams. So Brian Hartline headed to South Florida. How about Brian Hartline? He's only 39 years old. Attaboy. Congratulations, Brian. Go get him. Best of luck. Get the Buckeyes another natty. And then all the best to you and your family as you go down to Tampa to take over the job with South Florida. Some news today regarding high school football. We told you about some of the young men that signed on the dotted line, the early signing period for the high school kids to go to college. Jack Zarko from North Canton Hoover has officially signed with Michigan State. Congratulations to Jack. Congratulations to Ben Conigan from Tusky Valley. He is signing with Miami, Florida. Congratulations to Ben. We told you earlier today, Perry Lyman, Preston Daisy signing with Toledo. Go get him, Preston. Of course, Gavin Gregory, who you'll hear from West Branch, he is going to Toledo. Got some Tigers on the dotted line today. Sam Donasis is going to go with Bowling Green. He's a Massillon defensive lineman. Jaden Williams, Massillon linebacker, he's going to go play for Coach Signetti in Indiana. And Lennox Lemon is going to sign with Kent State. So best of luck to the Tigers there and those three young men going on to play their college football. So congratulations to everybody. That's a big day. Really big day for the players and their families and their classmates, and that's really cool. Quick high school basketball kind of review from last night. A couple of games we had for you here between AM 1310 WDPN and down the hall at Q92. Lions beat Northwest last night in a thriller, 73-72. Game here on 1310. You had Louisville beating West Branch 44-37. McKinley beat St. Vincent St. Mary last night on Q92, 68-59. The Pups look really good. Little scattered at times, but the talent is there. And I think without a question, they're the best team in Stark County. Carrollton won in overtime over Tusky Valley last night by 3. Canton South beat Marlington 57-29. Tuslaw, big win over Rootstown. And Malvern beat Dalton. Of course, a lot of games didn't get played last night because of the snow. And some of those games will be made up coming up this weekend. Speaking of this weekend, Friday night right here on WDPN, Christian will have the call of Salem and Alliance. That'll be around 7 o'clock on DPN. And then down the hall on Q92, 92.5 FM, myself and Lee Foster. We'll go courtside as we bring you Perry and Louisville from the home of the Leopards on Friday night. That'll be at 7 o'clock on our sister station, Q92. I'll also be doing my show from Louisville beginning at 3 on Friday afternoon, and that will be right here on AM 1310 WDPN. All right, without any further ado, if you missed it in the 3 o'clock hour, we want to bring this interview back for you. Gavin Gregory, the outstanding tight end for the West Branch Warriors, signed on the dotted line today. He's going to continue his academic and athletic career at Toledo and play for the Toledo Rockets. We had a chance to catch up with Gavin Gregory earlier today. Here's that interview from the Sam Bourquin Show. That's us, 1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN, streaming live on all of our social media platforms on X, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Right now, we have a chance to talk with one of the premier tight ends in the state of Ohio, maybe in the country. And he's right down the street. It's Gavin Gregory of the West Branch Warriors. Gavin has made his decision to continue his academic and athletic career. We'll get to that here in a second. We'll let him do that. And Gavin, welcome to the show. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I appreciate you coming on today. I know it's been busy. It's been fun. It's been stressful. All those things wrapped up into one. But we understand that you have made your decision. So kind of let everybody know where you're going to take your talents next year for college football and get rolling on that gridiron and back in the classroom.
Yeah. First of all, I'd just like to thank God and especially my parents. I wouldn't be able to make this decision without them. And I was just going to make the decision to the Toledo Rockets. It's a great program and a lot of great coaches up there.
Outstanding. Congratulations, Gavin. You've made your decision to go to play for the Rockets at Toledo. You'll be handling business up at the Glass Bowl. And I know you're going to have a fantastic collegiate career. Okay, so what was this whole process like for you as a young man going through high school, your teen years? Lots of stuff on the table, lots of things in motion. Take us through the process if you could.
Yeah, so starting out, it was my freshman year going into my sophomore year is when I went to my first camp because I had worked out with Drew DeShields, who went to Kent State. So I was kind of close to him. And he said just to try and go to as many camps as possible. So my freshman year, I went to the Kent State camp and I met Boston there. Me and Boston went to the same camp. And that was it was my first camp I ever went to, and sadly, it was my last camp I ever went to, which kind of sucked. But then, next year after that, I had a workout with Iowa State just in the spring to get rolling, and some bigger schools out to come and see me. You know, we have the connection up there with John Haycock, the defensive coordinator, and he came out to see what I'm about. And I dislocated and broke my pinky finger working out with him. And it just kind of ruined that summer for me. Yeah. So I just was focusing on recovery that summer and getting back to the gridiron, putting in the work on my craft, all that. And I knew for my size, speed and agility was like a big thing. And so I just worked on my speed, my quickness, and like my routes, especially. Like I like really harped on that. And then my junior year, I worked on some run blocking to like try and get into that. So I had both of that. And then they offered me during my junior year basketball season. And that was when I first talked to Coach Sage. He came to my school and had a really nice conversation with him. Like, the first time meeting him was really nice.
Sure.
I knew he was legit. He actually got in his stance. We both did. Just to like see my stance in a 3-point stance, 2-point stance. It was really fun, actually. And committed that summer. And it was really fun.
That is awesome. I know you committed, what was it, June 2nd, I think you committed. And then I know Carolina came in with an offer at the end of October. I know you were on the radar of a lot of schools because your talent was just jumping off the field. Athletically, the cerebral way that you played the game, the way you interact with your teammates and coaches. I know a lot of folks were on you, but you made that decision to go to Toledo, and that will be an outstanding place for you to go, I know. I was able to, and very grateful to be able to call about 3 or 4 of your games this year. It was the first time I'd ever seen you play live, and really loved the way that you played the game. How did you, I know nothing comes easy, but you look like you've had the tools. You talk about the height at 6'7", 240 pounds, the way that you study and things like that. How did football come to you as you were growing up and going through the ranks of grade school, junior high, high school, and then throughout?
Yeah, it mostly just came with my older brother. I actually started early, kindergarten through senior year. I played football, and I always looked up to my older brother, see how he played, how he competed, and he was the first one his senior year was the first league win, and we haven't lost since. So.
Yeah, you guys have been doing pretty well. It's some great seasons. Okay, I got to ask you, the first time that I called one of your games, it was over at West Branch. I think it was against Alliance, and you caught a ball, and the PA announcer called you the G-Wagon. I thought, oh, wow, okay. So where did that come from?
That came from basketball. It was my junior year. Yeah, it was my junior year. My friend's uncle announces our basketball games.
Okay.
And it just caught on. Like, throughout all basketball season, he called me that. And it refers to, like, the car, how it's, like, a fancy, valuable car. They see me as, like, a valuable player, and they just keep calling me the G-Wagon.
I thought it was cool, man. I just started calling you that during the broadcast. That G-Wagon, it was great. I loved it. It was so much fun to do those games and watch you just hone your craft on the field. So how excited are you high school is a great time of your life. 4 years, friends, studying, football, coaches, relationships. It's such a great time. How excited are you to take that next step in your life at the collegiate level and see what you got?
I'm really excited, actually. And it comes with a little bit of nerves and a little bit of anxiety because I'm always looking to get better. I'm always looking to compete, and I just want to be the best player out there. So I'm always looking for the next step ahead.
Gavin Gregory is our guest, the outstanding tight end of the football squad at West Branch. Made his decision to continue his college football career with the Toledo Rockets. We congratulate Gavin on his decision. It's going to be an outstanding time for him up in Toledo. I wish we had some more time, but we have to run. One more quick one for you, Gavin. What's your favorite memory as you kind of leave the West Branch football program and everything behind?
My favorite memory is always going to be the Ashland camps. I always have a great time hanging out with the boys on the team for 3 days, just putting in the work, hanging out in the dorms, going on walks, all that.
Good stuff. Well, Gavin, we appreciate you taking time to come on with us today. Again, congratulations on your decision. I know a lot of folks, family, friends, everybody's very proud of you. We'll be watching and rooting you on. And thanks again for coming on, and best of luck to you, and have a great upcoming holiday season, okay?
Thank you. Have a great day.
You bet. There he goes, Gavin Gregory, West Branch tight end. Now he's going to be a Toledo Rockets. More to come here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? SafeStep walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. SafeStep walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Mount Union basketball is live all season long on AM 1310 WDPN, presented by SARTA. Join myself, Sam Bourquin, and Ryan Keller courtside as we bring you every heart-pounding moment. And this year, we're taking Purple Raider hoops even farther. You can now listen live and for free on AM 1310 WDPN Facebook page, the 1310X page, and the Q92 YouTube channel. Mount Union basketball lives on AM 1310 WDPN. Your home for Purple Raider basketball, presented by SARTA.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. I want to thank Gavin Gregory from West Branch for joining us to talk about his decision to go to Toledo to continue his college football career. Text line open, 330-924-7088. 330-924-7088. Cavs tonight. Blazers. Cavs are 11.5-point favorite up in Cleveland. That should be a win. Hey, guess what? The Ohio State line just moved again. It's down to 4.5. What does that mean? Who knows something? Ohio State minus 4.5 against Indiana. That thing opened up at 5.5, 6. So that tells me that tells me that there is a lot of cash being put on the Indiana Hoosiers for Saturday night. You know what it also tells me? It tells me with the circumstances of the night, the Big Ten Championship, it's the 1 against the 2. They're both undefeated. I personally believe no matter what happens, both teams will go to the playoffs and both teams will get first-round byes. That line moving like that tells me that maybe 1 or 2 of the Ohio State receivers is not going to play. That's what that tells me. I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong. But you brought Carnell and Jeremiah back for the Michigan game. You got your win. You know you're going to the playoffs. Maybe you give them another extra week. Maybe you give them another extra week or two to get 100% healthy. I'm not saying this is gospel. I'm just telling you, when I see a line move like that, something else is going on. And maybe word is out there. Maybe somebody knows that a couple of the Buckeye receivers are kind of be held out of the Big Ten championship game against Indiana. That's just a thought. Again, I don't have any evidence to support that besides millions of dollars coming in on the Indiana Hoosiers. All right, we'll just kind of leave that there.
Well, that would be fascinating.
But I just happened to see, because I was looking around at Saturday and Sunday lines for college football and some of the NFL games, and the first thing I saw was, whoa, Ohio State, Indiana at 4.5. And that leads me to believe that maybe there's something going on there. Maybe not. Maybe the sharp bettors think that Mendoza is going to have a party on Saturday night. And they know the way that Indiana's approaching this game, but they think they're going to beat Ohio State. Look, that line was not that big to begin with. 5.5. There was a couple of 6s. Those didn't last long. That's just a thought. That's just a thought on my account. But it'll be interesting now moving forward. I mean, what's today? Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. I can't wait to talk to Ross Benjamin about this tomorrow. Ross the Boss will be on with us from Wager Talk tomorrow afternoon, 4:35 here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. We'll pick his brain. We'll see what's going on there. Ross will give us the juice. And don't forget, tomorrow at 3:35, we meet back up with our good buddy, the outstanding head football coach of Mount Union, Jeff Dart. Oh, the Purple Raiders and the John Carroll Blue Streaks coming up Saturday at noon, right here on 1310 WDPN, all of our social media platforms. If you can't make it to the stadium on Saturday, we'll check in with Coach Dart tomorrow at 3:35. That should be fun, too. What a great week this is going to be. Great weekend. High school championship games start tomorrow night at Tom Benson. We got high school hoops for you Friday. We got college football on Saturday. We got the pros on Sunday. Lots going on. And it's going to be colder than... so that'll help us get through, right? All right, time to go. Thanks to Rainsburg. Great job as always. Thanks to all the emailers and texters and commenters that you checked in with us on social media today and listen on the radio. We always appreciate you coming along. And we're going to do it all over again tomorrow at 3 right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Don't forget, go Bucks, go Cavs, go Bucks, go Guards, go Browns. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Seems so long.